Hello, weebs and normies. Welcome to the Anime Club. I'm Graham.
Hello. And I'm George. Hello, everybody.
Hello, everyone. Hello. All right. We haven't streamed in quite a while. It's been a minute, and I've reformatted my computer. So hopefully, we had a little stream restart.
I can't see you on Discord. Oh, now I can see you. There we go.
Okay.
There we go. Perfect.
Perfect.
Yes.
Perfect. Excellent. Hello, everyone.
Nice. Hello.
We're going to cover some cut content for ReZero this stream. Yes. We have a list that has been made by a community member, Nick. Nick has been gracious to help put together a list. We did want to watch the videos of cut content. We had a lot of people recommend those videos on YouTube. Mm-hmm. There were some really good anime creators. I think there was one in particular, but regardless, we just don't have the time because those are like one episode is like 10 minutes and extra. How my microphone level is and how George's is. If we have to tweak the levels at all, I can turn George down just a touch, whatever it needs to be. You guys just let me know. It's all good. Okay, so maybe I won't turn George down too much. If it is,
perfect.
Just let us know.
And we have some moderators who are going to be manning the chat for us. Yes, because we want to avoid spoilers at all costs, and they've been gracious enough to filter stuff for us.
Yes, we've got two moderators. We have TLK and Mokana. They have been very gracious. They're both well aware of ReZero, so they'll be keeping an eye on things. We don't think that there's going to be any problems, but just keep in mind, if you're going to do a blatant spoiler, like if you throw in a spoiler, this is the example I was using in our meeting before, was if someone says like Ram dies, and it's just like, that's just clearly a blatant spoiler. Like you just tried to spoil us on something. You just delete it. You're just gone. Like we have a button that removes you from the entirety of the channel, comments and all. You're just going to be gone. Boop. There's no...
And you do not return by relogin.
No, you don't come back. And because that's just a blatant spoiler. You're just trying to ruin the fun. If you're making a reference to something that happens, like, oh, you better keep an eye on what happens to Ram. Wonder what could happen to Ram in the future. I understand you're trying to be clever, but we don't want to hear comments like that. We understand people are really excited. Totally cool and understandable. But we don't want any like big hints. We don't even really want any hints almost at all. The things that the comments we love the most are the comments of people like, hey, stupid, you forgot that this happened in this episode and you watched it clearly, like you should know. Or, hey, remember this? Or, you know, something like that. Or you didn't understand this. Or, oh, this wasn't really explained because, you know, it's cut or whatever. Here's the explanation. Or maybe we didn't understand something. Those comments are amazing. They're amazing. So those comments, totally fine. Indeed. If you're too heavy-handed with like your hinting, we're not going to freaking delete you from the channel, but you will possibly see your comment just disappear, and that's like your first warning. If you put in another comment that's like that, then the moderators will probably time you out, and that'll cover pretty much the whole stream.
We've given them full reins on
we trust them.
Spoiler prevention. Yes,
exactly. We trust them a lot. They're not going to be heavy-handed with it. They're just going to keep an eye on it. We're not going to look at the chat too heavily, just in case. But I already see there was a message redacted. Okay, I don't know if that was moderator redacted or if that was you redacted your own comment. But we won't look at the comments or the chat too much, because we're just gonna, you know, periodically look just in case of spoilers. But we honestly, the community here at the Anime Club is so good. You guys have been so great. Awesome.
Yes.
So we're really not too worried about, to be honest. We're just over preparing. We really think it's gonna be a fun time.
We think the less we're spoiled, not only the more enjoyable is it for us, the better of an experience it is for you guys as you probably rewatch the show along with us. So you know, it's just better all around. So
100%. All right. Well, without further ado, let's just maybe we can just say hi to the chat for a second and just we've got a bunch of people here. We are so back.
Subaru dies, bro. Great. I don't know, man.
Delete that man, bro. Delete that man from the channel. I mean, hey everyone, hey everybody. We got 44 people watching. We're just really
wow, dude, that's amazing.
I know. We're just really. If I can say It's so annoying when like content creators do this, but I just gotta say, we're really, really thankful for all the support we've had. ReZero has especially blown up with support on the channel and things like that. We're really thankful, guys. It's super fun to watch with everyone. We're just so glad that people are enjoying the discussions and stuff, right? That's kind of our bread and butter, as you may imagine. Like, we yap, right? So the fact that people are enjoying the yap is great.
Yeah, and as I think you or me, I don't know who mentioned it, but we've said in some episodes, like, if you guys wanted to know what it was like to watch Attack on Titan with us, this would have been it, dude. We would go, and it would be like 2 a.m, dude, and we'd be sending each other like screenshots, analyzing like the frame by frame, some of the stuff. Yeah, bro, we broke that show down, and some of our predictions in hindsight were like spot on. Others were like totally way off. Random, but this is just. Yeah, this is how Graham and I interact with stories, and now it's great that people are enjoying it. It's just like an added bonus, so that's awesome.
Yeah, it's been really fun. Yeah, I remember, I mean, I feel like even ReZero is only a 10th of how long we would talk about this stuff. Or I'd be like thinking like one week, I'm like, dude, I've been thinking about the episode, and I've been thinking about this one scene. Let's sit down and let's take a look at this scene again. It's like, all right. It was great. It was so fun.
Yeah, it really was. And ReZero has been fantastic in the sense that there's like there's so much meat on that bone. Yeah, there's a lot to like decipher and stuff, and it's it's very well written. Like, I know people, like, from some of the comments, at least I gathered that season 2 was subpar, at least like in the animation stuff. I haven't really noticed like too much, maybe here and there, but as far as like I can tell, aside from the cut content, which we'll be going over today, great stuff. Great stuff. Really great written. Yeah. So.
And a lot of people are saying that like season 2 is the worst season. Like, it's well worse than season 1. Like, I saw some people say it. Some people say they like it more, but like, I don't know, man. Season 2 has been great so far. Like, it's been really fun.
Yeah. I've liked it. I can't wait for season 3. Right. And as far as I understand, season 4 is not too far off. So even better. We don't have to wait super long.
That's true. We have a producer in our ear as well, our moderators. So we can actually ask, Mr. Producer, when is season 4 coming? Oh, wait.
They're muted.
The moderators are muted. We can't hear them, actually.
Okay.
All right. We'll wait to see if we can get some moderator takes on that. But
no set date. I see that in the chat.
No set date. Oh, you know what? Even better. We have chat
Probably
here.
Next year, though. Okay.
Producer San, yeah. Producer San. The moderators are muted, Sag. All right.
Will you guys check out any if stories? You guys have seen enough to check out some of them without spoilers. That's a good question.
I would like to check those out. I really like that. One thing that I've mentioned in our reactions is that I've really enjoyed about ReZero is being able to see the like what ifs in the show itself, right? Just being like, okay, here's Puck going to, we never would have known that if Subaru couldn't reset. That's crazy. So being able to see that and stuff like that is really cool. So I'm down to check that out at some point. I don't know how we would go about doing that, but we can talk about it.
Yeah, they're just written, right? This isn't like a manga thing, or is it all text? Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure. We've had people ask us to cover manga stuff in the past, so we should probably figure out a plan to cover mangas and light novels and stuff like that. Some way of doing it. We'll have to look at like how other people do it and get some ideas.
Yeah, a stream might be the way to do it, maybe.
Right.
We'll see. Maybe. We'll see how long they are. If it's like multiple hours, then maybe not. We'll see.
Right.
Okay.
Let's see. All right. Do the boys have us pulled up? Yes, we're checking out the chats. Future rent-a-girlfriend discussion's gonna go so hard.
Oh my boy, gosh, what?
Dude.
That's another show?
You never know. We might watch Rent-a-Girlfriend. You never know, Steve.
Oh my gosh.
It's 3 a.m. for me. Lulz, we appreciate you hanging out with us, even though it's 3 a.m.
3 a.m. Oh,
that's
man.
Crazy. This year, probably next year. Oh, there's one of our moderators in the chat. That's amazing. And then we had other commenters as well. We appreciate that, guys. What ifs contain spoilers? If we were to cover what ifs, we would probably cover them after season 3, I would say.
Sure. Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
Makes sense.
Just to be the safest. Echidna is the best to react to if stories. He literally got English. Okay, so there's some channels that have covered it. Okay.
Wow. Okay.
That might work then. We could watch
Echidna.
Echidna.
Nice name. I love it.
I don't know if things are going to change in season 2, but it's so strange to me how much people love Echidna. Like, I get it, waifu culture and all that, but like, maybe don't hint again, don't hint too much in the comments if things get more interesting with her. And I'm sure maybe they do, but like up to this point, it's just like, I get why people would like her, but the amount of like love people have for her so far from what I've seen is just like, interesting, huh? All right, okay.
Dude, she's a witch, man. I'm gonna be forever sus of all the witches. Yeah. So we'll see.
I love all the witches. Ram is best girl for the sass. Dude, Ram's sass is unbelievable.
Dude, it's borderline mean. Not even borderline. It's like straight up mean sometimes. Dude. I'm just like, geez, Ram, dude, chill out, bro. What the frick?
Speaking of which, actually, so this is a little bit unfortunate, but we did want to get this done before the end of the season because some people were saying like, hey, it's important to see some of the content before the end. But we've actually watched 16 and 17. Now, if you're a YouTube member or a Patreon member, you can watch 2 weeks early, but you won't be able to see those until next week. Yeah. So it's a little awkward. We're going to check out the cut content for 16 and 17. But yeah, no one's going to know.
But we'll stop there. We'll stop at 17.
At 17, yes. So unfortunately, you won't have our reactions to go along with that kind of cut content. But it did remind me, the sass from Ram did remind me of when Garf was lap pillowed by Ram, and she's like, "Are you awake?" And he's like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Get the frick off!"
Yeah,
it's like, jeez, what the frick? Yeah, she is crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Finding it strange is very normal. Okay, that's perfect. That's all I need to know. She's the most popular character in the entire story. Yeah, one of. Yeah, no kidding. I see it. We're starting with season 1. We're going to start imminently. Cut content for witches. Yeah, so again, we have a list here. It may not be a perfect list, but one of our community members, Nick.
It's pretty meaty. There's like a lot. Meaty. Like I haven't gone through anything. I've just scrolled through it. There's a lot.
It's a lot. There's a lot. Yeah. So we're gonna go through it. It doesn't have everything, but it has the most important stuff. Again, for sake of time and our yapping, we can't do everything, but we'll do as much as we can. We'll get the bulk of it done. Yeah, so Nick on Discord has done a great job of putting this list together and kind of modifying it just slightly for us. But we got 84 people now. I think, what do you say, George? We start hammering through these?
Let's do it. We'll go one by one and just see what awaits us.
Okay, so George, you want to read the first one?
Sure. Cut content from Season 1, Episode 7, Shadow Garden, Scene 1. Side note, Subaru doesn't remember anything from the Shadow Garden scenes. He forgets when he wakes up. After jumping off the cliff and dying, before respawning, Subaru finds himself in a dark ethereal realm in which a humanoid shadow appears to him and someone voices the words, "I cannot meet you, not yet." Okay. So the Shadow Garden sounds to me like it's this dark ethereal realm.
Right.
That he, before respawning, so he dies and then he wakes up in this realm.
So it's the limbo state just as he's about to respawn.
In between. Okay.
So if I had to guess,
a humanoid shadow appears to him.
We can't see that figure, but if I had to guess, I I it's probably Satella.
I was thinking the same thing, but the only thing why I stopped thinking that is because I cannot meet you. Like, in what specifically do they mean by meet?
Right.
Like, because hasn't Satella, I guess maybe not met face to face,
at that point,
but she knows of Subaru, I guess?
She knows of him, but meeting him is a totally different story, right?
Yeah, I suppose.
Interesting.
Yeah, I guess they haven't formally met. Yeah, Satella.
Like, think about it. Who else could it be?
Yeah, and it's a humanoid shadow. Okay.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if there's much more we
seems
can
like a
glean
pretty
from that,
reasonable.
but it is interesting though that he forgets this realm when he wakes up.
Yeah, that is interesting, right?
But okay, does he remember? Was this the same place when? Remember when he took the neckerchief to like stab himself? He was in like a dark ethereal realm.
No, but that's
right?
not quite the same. He was in like the miasma of the witch. It's not really like a realm.
Oh, it wasn't like another realm.
He got like consumed by the miasma, I think. Yeah, it's a little bit different. Is it possible to show us the screen or will it ruin the setup? Unfortunately, we don't have it quite set up for that, I don't think. I don't think we can show like the list. You're asking to see the list. It's not terribly remarkable. Like there's really not much to see. It's just a bunch of text.
It's just text. Yeah.
We will at some point potentially have the anime show up down here if we want to reference something. So that'll be something at least that you can check there. But it's a good question. Graham is correct. So we could read along. I see. You know what? I can throw them into the chat. Let's see. Oh, too long. Oh my gosh. Let's see.
Are we able to just put it in a text doc and stream that? Maybe.
Well, we don't want to. Let's see. Hold on. Let's see. Hold on. There's one.
Bear with us a moment.
And 2. -6. Oh my gosh. The chat thing.
It's very limiting if it doesn't let you do more than that.
Super limiting. Wow. I can't believe how limited it is. All right. There's the thing there. I don't know how often I'm going to be able to do that because some of these get pretty wordy. Yeah. What we can do is, you know what we can do? Is we can, on Discord, we can use the voice text. If you go into Discord and you assign yourself a role, you'll be able to see the rest of the Discord. There's an anime of the Game Club roles. If you look at the recording room, which we're sitting in right now, chatting in, above that, there's a voice text thing there. We can throw the comment or these things in full into the voice text section so you can see it as we go through it. So I'll throw the first one there.
Sure.
Oh man. Now I'm thinking if I'll be filling that chat up with spoilers. Hold on. I got another idea. I got one more idea. Zero spoilers beware. So I'm gonna make a new chat channel.
Okay.
Specifically for this, everyone. We're gonna do this. All right. I'm gonna delete this other comment. So there's gonna be a ReZero chat right there. And I'm going to edit this and set the permissions for where is it? Am I the only one who can see this channel? Oh boy, this is getting more complicated.
I don't know.
No, everyone can see it. Okay, so everyone can see it. I'm going to edit this with permissions. Where is the @everyone permissions? @everyone. Oh my gosh, why is Discord so... Oh, it's in advance now. Okay. @everyone. Send messages. There we go. Okay, so it should block anyone from sending messages in there. That was the that's the idea, so we don't clutter that up. All right. If you want to get to the Discord, you just got to go into our description for the YouTube channel. It should be right there. We have it plastered everywhere, so it's in the description.
Perfect.
Yeah, should be in the description of this live stream, actually. So if it's not, just let us know. Okay, awesome. So that's great. So let's see. So we got the next one here. I'll read it off.
Thanks for pasting it in chat too, the link. Perfect. Yes. Yeah, let's move on here.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Asa. So episode 11, cut content, the Shadow Garden scene 2. Okay, another Shadow Garden scene here. After being knocked unconscious after Rosewall appears to save the day by burning the witch beast. Okay, right. Subaru finds himself in the dark ethereal realm yet again, in which the shadow, now in the shape of a woman, approaches him with the word you.
You. It's got to be love you.
Yeah. Oh, you're freaking right, George. You're freaking right. There's the episode.
So, okay. This confirms then that humanoid shadow he saw in the beginning or in the first scene was
definitely Satella. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Interesting. So, okay, all that makes sense. The one interesting thing about it, though, is that she didn't want to meet him yet.
Yeah, not yet.
Right? That's
But
strange.
now she can. What happened between episode 7 and 11? I'm trying to remember.
No, I don't think she's met him yet. I think she's just viewing him from a distance, right? I don't see this as like a meeting. I just see this as a creepy stalker looking in the window going, I love you. I love you. Right? Like,
it says it approaches him. So maybe it's not quite like meeting.
Like she met, I say the first meeting is when they met in the dream realm in season 2. Right? Just recently in episode 13.
Yeah. In the Castle of Dreams.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense, I guess. Yeah.
All right, what else would it be, right?
Yeah. And it's the beginning part's really interesting too. After being knocked unconscious after Roswell appears to save the day by burning the witch beasts.
Do you remember that?
I don't remember that. No.
We'll pull it up. Jamie, can you pull it up? Episode 11. All right, so we're not going to. This should pop in here in just a second. We're not going to have any sound for copyright reasons. We're not going to have any sound, and I'm going to avoid playing the episode as much as possible. Oh, this is the episode with
but we can
super adorable Rem and Ram. They're so cute. This is when
these I think I remember then. Yeah.
Right. So that's when actually right here. Right? He was just
this
like,
is when Roswell shows up. Okay.
I'm fricked. Right? And then
yeah.
Urgoa. I'll do the voice acting for everyone. Yeah. And then
okay.
Subaru.
Yes. This is the first time we get a taste for his like full power, right?
Right.
The first the standoff between him and Betty didn't like fully showcase everything.
Yes, exactly. It happened and it really didn't go anywhere. Okay. Yeah. Subaru. Okay, very good. And then Ram is so sad. Okay. All right, very good. Very good. So this is after being knocked unconscious after Roswell appears. Okay, this is this part and he passes out. It's right here.
Okay.
This is where the scene happens.
So he doesn't have to die.
Doesn't have to die.
To go into that. Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Very interesting. I'm going to move this. Oh, I just don't have enough room here. He passes out, then it happens. Yep. Very good. Okay. Nice.
So, okay. Yes. Because spoilers for our upcoming reaction.
Oh boy.
We kind of talked a lot about like what's the difference between the different realms, right? Because we have like the realm there, the story's happening. We have real Earth or human realm or whatever, and then we have like the Castle of Dreams, which is like what really is that realm? This just adds like another layer to that kind of conversation of like, okay, are these like, how tangible are these places, these other realms that you can go to?
Right.
Like, is this shadow garden, this dark ethereal realm, is it a realm in the traditional sense? Is it like
a physical place or like a realm within the ReZero universe realm? Or is it
like what I'm thinking is, and this is a little bit of very, very mild spoilers for the Wheel of Time, but the world of dreams there, most of the time you access it when you're dreaming, but if you're skilled enough or strong enough, you can literally open like a portal essentially to that, and you can physically be in that place.
Sure.
So like the castle, it makes me think of the Castle of Dreams now, and this shadow realm. It sounds like if he passed out, but he found himself there, and yet no one said like, "Oh, bro, you disappeared. What the heck?" Sounds like this is just like
I think it's all mental.
Okay, so what about the shadow realm of Castle of Dreams though? Is that all mental too? And both of these are all mental, and you can't access them physically, but can you also access them physically?
Right. Not necessarily the case, but for now, the dream realm with the witches and this potential shadowy garden realm seem like it's all a mental thing.
Yeah, and so the reason I asked that is like, okay, in what form did Satella appear in the Castle of Dreams? Right?
Well, not in her physical form, because she's like dead or sealed, kind of, right?
Yes, yeah.
And the other witches are dead too, right? So I'm going to say everyone in that realm that showed up is there intangibly.
It's just like a mental,
spirit, be it, or mental image or whatever.
Sure. Because they say the seal, right? And like I don't want to talk so much about what we've just discussed in our
it's unfortunate that 16 and 17 are such consequential episodes.
Yeah, they're very meaty. But like, okay, what does sealing mean? Has she just been physically sealed in another realm? And so for all intents and purposes, for everybody here, she can't come back to this realm physically. But her physical body exists in another realm, which means she has full liberty to physically go to different realms, right? Mm-hmm. Or is it just, like we said, there was a separation of soul and body, mind and body, envy,
George,
essence
that
and body?
On if you think Amelia is her physical body, as we kind of discussed in the episode that no one has watched, sadly, and we should probably stop referencing because it's basically teasing everyone endlessly.
I know. Okay, well,
all right.
Yes.
Very interesting. Yeah, there's so many questions that it comes to her physical body and stuff. So much has been revealed in 16 and 17 with Amelia saying and basically accepting the fact that she's like potentially a witch, which we don't want to know no comments about that whatsoever. I feel like we're on the cusp of like extreme zero knowledge with the next set of episodes.
What a not spoiler, cliffhanger. 17 was,
Oh man, that was so brutal. All right, so let's
catch up on chat here real quick.
Okay, sure. Welcome to the Premium Anime Club. Night Hearth, you're a legend.
Thank you.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
Very good.
Let's see, George, that question will be answered when you reach season 2. Okay. All right, so we're about to get an imminent answer on that.
Oh, that's amazing. Nice. That's amazing.
Very good.
Very good. Spoiler territory? Yeah, likely. Okay. All right. Well, let's just keep going then. This is great. Okay, I love content already.
Some answers, finally, yes.
That's where the answers were, George. They were on the cutting room floor.
No wonder we never got any. Jeez. Okay, let's go to the next one here.
Go ahead.
Episode 12, regarding Aldebaran. Aldebaran? I don't know how you say his name. Priscilla's Night. Okay, yeah. Skip Condor Break Time Season 3. Originally revealed in this episode in Season 1, but was cut for an unknown reason. So what do we do? Do we skip ahead in break time? Or do we just wait?
I think this was cut. I think we had Nick cut this.
This was cut. Yes, yeah, because it's something we'll eventually meet.
Because I told him, I said, hey, if there's going to be anything in the future that like they loop back around to, just take that out for us. We don't want to know, right? So Nick was gracious enough to kind of cull that stuff a little bit. So there's some stuff with
her night that was been cut. Okay.
Right.
All right.
Okay,
well,
so
let's move on then.
Yeah, that's no problem. Let's see. So, do we read this next one then? Aldebaran has no episodic memories. There's no more detail that Al mentions. It was cut from the LN, and that he does not have any episodic memories, and that he is aware of stuff like common sense, name slang, but he's no memories of himself. Doesn't know who he is. Okay, so it's just like there's some stuff.
Weird. So there's no long-term memory? Is that what I'm supposed to...
I guess. There's something going on with him, it seems. I don't want to read too much into that because it has to do with him, and so I don't want to dwell on it too much.
Sure, yeah.
So we'll just wait on that. All
right, we'll have to wait for season 3. Okay.
Yeah, I just skimmed that, basically. All right, Black Serpent, one of the 3 legendary Mabis, akin to the white whale and the great rabbit, has been active in recent years. Interesting. Now,
so the white whale and great rabbit sound like they've been active this whole time.
Yeah, kind of. But I feel like, did you feel like if the rabbit was more active, it would just fucking wipe out civilization?
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, that's actually a question I had. I was like, how, if it's like constantly going to places with like large amounts of mana,
right?
Wouldn't it just naturally
go to cities?
Go
and
from
stuff?
city to city? Yeah, where like large concentrations of mana is bound to be.
If I could guess, I would say that all 3 of the Mabis the legendary Mabis have been more active recently.
Recently?
Yeah. That would be like my guess. If the serpent is, now we know the whale has been, because the whale has been killing people for like 400 years. Like they've talked about it. But then again, I guess all of them have been terrorizing everything. It's just they've been more active recently, right?
Yeah, how big, I wonder, this world is. Like, is it Earth size? Is it bigger than Earth? I guess gravity, and I don't know how detailed, like, this show's very detail oriented, so I'm assuming since he didn't mention anything about gravity, it's largely the same size as Earth.
Yeah.
I mean,
I guess
the internet makes Earth seem much smaller because we can get news from like halfway across the world in seconds, but Earth is huge.
Huge, yeah.
If there was a thing like the Great Rabbit, like literally on Earth, I don't know, man. Like freaking running through the plains, like, you know, in the Arctic or like in the desert in Africa, it could go months, years, like depending on how fast it is. And that's another question. How did Roswell know
it was coming?
Yeah.
And
like,
the snow and stuff,
and
like what's
snow,
that all
to
about?
Like make the snow, yeah.
No, the questions, George, they keep coming. Yeah, it's so fricked. All right, let's continue.
Okay.
I don't know much more we can say about that. Okay. So,
there's a Rezier world map, by the way.
There's a world map? Maybe we'll check that out at the end of season 2.
Through season 2 or season 3? Okay.
We'll have to.
Okay.
Well, there's probably not enough reason to like look at that on a video or something. We could probably look at it after. But yeah. Okay, let's go to number 13. We don't want this stream to be 17 hours.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
All right. Episode 13. Felt is suspected of being a lost member of the royal family. In the royal castle, after the initial commotion over Felt's background, Reinhardt draws attention to Felt's physical characteristics, namely her blonde hair and crimson eyes, which were the trademark of the deceased royal family of how do you say this? Lugunica? I don't know.
Lugunisa.
Sure. Sounds right.
Maybe.
And in fact, there was a princess who was supposedly kidnapped as a baby. 14 years prior to Arc 3, which would put that event around the time of Felt's birth. Felt, she is one that Reinhardt has, right?
He's the one that Reinhardt's simping for. Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Reinhardt. Oh, it's Reinhardt. So maybe he thinks she is part of the old royal family. And remind me again, we have to choose a new queen because what happened again to the royal family? They all died?
I don't think there was a particular royal... I don't think we know much about the royal family per se, but we do know that the dragon talisman will select a new ruler, and it's part of the prophecy. Right? They need a new priestess. I think it was the exact verbiage. But I could be freaking wrong.
They all died out. I see. Okay,
They died from sickness. Okay.
Okay, an epidemic.
This is
They all died
real
mysteriously.
time comments. No, like way later comments where we're hearing this. This is amazing. This is great, guys.
2 weeks or 3 weeks after we watch something, seeing a comment's like, that's what it was. Okay.
Right. Oh, yeah. Okay, great. Excellent.
Okay. Huh.
Okay.
There was a princess who was supposedly kidnapped as a baby.
Yeah.
Do you think... Now, it could all be Reinhardt's wrong, and she just happens to look like her, but there's no... Yeah, well, yeah, there's that. And it lit up for her and stuff. But yeah. But it could be coincidence.
Okay.
It could be... It just so happened that this is... And someone kidnapped her because ransom, whatever. Or... What's the probability you think it was like, I know what's going to happen, and we're going to save her from the disease that kills all her family? Do you think there's any motivation like that in there?
Interesting theory. Yeah. That's a good idea.
Right? Because
it's too hard to say, but you're right. Yeah, that could be.
Yeah, and then like we don't know. We don't have details as to like what happened after this baby was kidnapped. Did she escape? Was she let go? Like what? Right? But if there is somebody who did this on purpose and it was your whole family's gonna die.
Right.
Is this like a gospel thing and they read ahead, or it was written that far ahead for them or something? Or
it was Rosewall. Yeah. He's taking all the freaking little girls around here.
Oh, bro.
He's got a big collection.
Okay. All right.
Very good. Al fled. This is 13 again. Al fled another country, the Volachane Empire.
Volation
Empire, and his face is disfigured. Oh man, poor guy. Some extra background stuff on Al is given. His past is having fled that empire, having been a sword slave for over 10 years. A dark secret of the empire, meaning that he partook in quite some battles. It is implied that was how he lost his arm. He's missing an arm?
I didn't even know he was missing an arm. Yeah, I didn't even know that, dude.
Okay.
I guess I gotta pay better attention to Al. He seems like quite the...
more interesting than we thought.
Yep.
Interesting. Okay. It also reveals a small part of his lower face, which is described as being blanketed with old scars from burns, cuts, and other sources. Jeez. Priscilla, too, reveals his origins after being from beyond the Great Waterfall in public, which does not get much attention.
Beyond the Great Waterfall.
Interesting.
So is there a waterfall that's like a border of this world? Or not this world, this realm, this empire?
Maybe. I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine, bro.
I don't know.
You're asking me that like I know. Interesting.
Yeah. Okay.
It's interesting to me that she's so vain. I don't know if she is exactly vain, but that's the word that comes to mind. She's very... so full of herself. It's interesting to me that she would have someone so disfigured as Al around. Like, you would think she'd be like, oh, I don't want some disgusting...
Maybe she's the one who makes him cover his face.
Right. Like, that's probably... It may be for him personally, and it may be on her orders. Right? Yeah. But it's just interesting that she has him around at all. Just because, like, when you think of royalty, you think of like, oh, I don't want this disgusting person with all these scars around me, right? But like, I don't know. That's just kind of an interesting little tidbit to me.
She might be like that surface level, but she could also be more pragmatic, kind of just generally. And so she's like, well, he's a skilled fighter, and so I'll have him as my personal bodyguard.
Yeah.
But you got to cover yourself up, bro. I don't want to see that ugly mug. Maybe something like that. I don't know.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Oh boy. All right. Please read episode 12. Very mandatory cut content. I mean, we read 12, I believe. He's got a bit of amnesia. I saw that people were saying in the chat. That's what that one that we kind of glossed over slightly. He's got amnesia, which is interesting, right? It's very strange.
Yeah. Yeah, the other part of episode 12 is that it's going to come up in break time in season 3. So I think we'll wait for
There's
them.
another thing that we're waiting for in season 3. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. There's a big jump here to episode 22.
Yeah. Okay. Sloth and Greed are the most well-known Sin archbishops. Julius gives some exposition on what is known about the Sin archbishops. The only two that are known are Sloth and Greed. Interesting. So
whoa,
when we see Gluttony, that's like a big reveal.
Yeah.
And who is Sloth? Oh, Sloth is Betelgeuse. Yes, that's right.
Right.
Sloth is suspected to be the most active member of the whole witch cult.
So Gluttony is... Sorry to cut you off. Gluttony is the one that doesn't show up. Wait, that doesn't show up often are known are Sloth.
Yeah, so the two most well known are Sloth and... Oh, wait. Yeah, Sloth and Greed. So not Julius. Cornelius is his name?
Regulus.
It's an us. Ends with us name.
It's funny that Regulus. I remember his name is Regulus when I keep freaking up the fact that I call him Pride when he's actually Greed, the Archbishop of Greed.
I think I've messed up, confused Greed and Pride too as well. But
probably because of me.
Yeah, maybe. So Sloth is Betelgeuse. Greed is Regulus. What's the name of the other one of Gluttony?
Gluttony. It's just Gluttony, I think. I don't think he gave his name, did he?
Maybe didn't? He did. Oh. If you have the episode, maybe we can go in and check. But let me finish reading this here real quick.
Sure.
Sloth is suspected to be the most active member of the whole witch cult, with more than half of the reports of their activities pertaining to him. Okay. Greed, however, does not have much to his name, but is widely known that he single-handedly destroyed the fortress city of Garkla in the militaristic Volatian Empire to the south, saying even the strongest swordsman of all of Wallachia, 8 arms Kurgan, well, this bro's got 8 arms, in that battle. To this, Wilhelm also adds an anecdote of his past that he once had the opportunity to cross swords with Kurgan in a proxy battle to avoid an international conflict. Okay. Wow.
Holy
so
frick.
He killed the strongest swordsman of an entire empire, and this was Regulus. How freaking strong is this dude? What? Okay.
Well, I mean, if he's anything as strong as Sloth, I mean, Sloth was crazy to deal with, and it was only because of Subaru's power they were able to kind of circumvent him pretty easily.
Yeah.
Right? Without that, he'd be insane.
It's funny to me, and we've talked about this a whole lot, how like the sins and their archetypes aren't like a one-to-one as they're traditionally known in like, you know, scripture or Christianity or whatever, to what they're shown in this show, because Sloth is one of the most active ones. Are you kidding me? Shouldn't he be like the least active? But it's the opposite
strange.
of that. So
Regulus. I bet he's freaking crazy strong, bro. I bet he's crazy.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. So do we know the name of whatchamacallit?
Of Gluttony?
Season 2, episode 1 for Gluttony's name. Okay, that's in the chat.
Season 2, episode 1. I'm looking at the wrong season. I'm fucking a goof.
Okay.
Season 2, episode 1. Oh, is it at the beginning here?
It's probably in the beginning. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Here we are. So here's this guy. Regulus.
Yeah, I don't know. For some reason, I just kept getting frickin' Pride vibes from this guy. I don't know why.
He is kind of prideful, I guess.
Right. Like they
like
interrupt
full of himself in a way.
Yeah, and they get really pissed and stuff.
Yeah.
You talk too much. Yeah, he just seems so much more prideful than he does greedy. Oh man.
Dude, he just freaking sliced her arm up.
He freaked Krush up. He fricked him up.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, you know.
Thank you for this feast.
Okay.
Oh, he says representing Gluttony here. Greed introduced himself in episode 17 as representing Gluttony. Interesting choice of
representing
words.
Gluttony.
I'll say again.
Greed?
Yeah. Or representing Greed. Sorry. Yeah. Not Greed. But yeah, representing is an interesting.
Isn't that the term that they always use? The archbishops always use?
I didn't catch it when he said it here, but it looks like it is, and it's lie. Kaitos. Yeah, lie. Yeah. Okay. Lie will be easier to remember. But lie kaitos. Yeah, anyways, I don't know why I'm latching onto the word so much. Representing.
Yeah, I think it's just, that's what they always say. I don't think there's anything special to it.
It could be. It could be, but yeah. It just, out of all the words, they could even just say sin archbishop of gluttony, sin archbishop of greed. Like, they don't have to say sin archbishop representing gluttony. Like, they're just stand-in for their witch who sent them. Like,
isn't it tomato potato at this point? With this kind of thing?
It could be, but it's just an interesting way of saying it. If it is just tomato potato.
Yeah, they always say that. Lie, best boy. Is he really though? Are they really though? All right, let's hit this other one, these other ones here. Hold on, let me pop this up again. 22 again. Did you read this one?
No.
Okay. The seat of pride has been empty for centuries. There is currently no sin archbishop of pride. Frick.
Okay. We knew that.
Yeah. Also, archbishop of wrath and lust were mentioned, but no sight is given on them. I'm really curious about. I'm just so curious. Yeah, just because of what we talked about before. Like, they're not exactly representative in some ways of their specific sins. So I'm really curious to see how the others act.
Yeah.
When it comes to that. So there's not much.
Yeah,
more
and
I'll
I remember
say
freaking Betelgeuse when he first saw Subaru. He's like, "Oh, are you Pride?" So yeah, we kind of knew that he was empty. Interesting.
Right, that's true. That's true. We did know that from Betelgeuse. The white whale's presence was premeditated by Betelgeuse. Oh. When Subaru asks for clarification on the trial, Betelgeuse begins by talking about the highway being sealed, then directly mentioning the mist as the method. This implies that the white whale having spawned near Regulus' tree was premeditated. Okay, I see. The way is sealed as in like the highway, and it was sealed because of the mist, right? Not even he was able to go through because the mist was there, and that means the whale's around.
Okay, I see.
Right, that makes sense. That makes, it's interesting that he was able to predict that. It could have been from his gospel then, probably, right? The gospel probably said, like, don't go there because the whale's going to freaking eat you, right?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Episode 22 again. The ordeal is as a test for the vessel's compatibility with the witch factors. Betelgeuse details that the ordeal's purpose is to check if the one being tested is a suitable vessel for the witch's factors. His line implies that his witch factor would be the first one to be tested for compatibility. Then the other archbishops. Oh. Interesting. This kind of changes my understanding a little bit as to how that worked. I thought they were specifically testing for envy, but he was going to test gluttony first. So
be the first to be tested for compatibility, then the other archbishops.
Yeah. So he wasn't.
What? He wasn't testing to see if she would be a vessel specifically. Not even
Satella.
Satella, right?
Yeah.
Like, this is for the witch factor. Sloth. Sorry, not gluttony. Yes, I misspoke.
Or sloth. Yeah. Feel like this is such a big piece of information, but we lack context to truly piece it into the puzzle as we're supposed to.
That's pretty big, right? That fundamentally change our understanding of the ordeal and like what exactly.
The first question that comes up to me is like, why? Okay, why test for gluttony, and then why test the other archbishops? Like, what's really the point? Like, you want to give. Or sorry, we're both misspeaking now. Why test for Sloth first? Like, Is it because it's the one that he has and he's only going to be giving, he can only give, well, this is probably it. He can only give the witch factor, which he has. Right. That said,
so
does he get it back? Like, what happens if Betelgeuse, that insane monster of a thing, gives up the witch factor? Does he fundamentally change and stop being Betelgeuse? I guess not really, because as far as I can tell, Subaru hasn't fundamentally changed from who he is.
Yeah, it's just the witch factor. The other question is, how many people can only one person have the witch factor at a time, right? That's
a good question. Yeah.
Right. The other thing is like, okay, if they're testing her and she's potentially like going to be Satella, are they testing her to see if she can handle a witch factor? Because Satella got all of the witch factors once upon a time when she murdered the other witches. So now she's like going around collecting them like infinity stones for fricking Amelia to make sure she can handle it, right? So then she gets the Sloth one, and then, you know, now she can handle the other ones. If she can handle one, she can handle the rest.
Yeah, and it also kind of implies much more coordination, which is kind of hinted when Gluttony and Pride or Greed show up together. But like, he's going to test for his own, for Sloth, and then he's going to test the other archbishops. So like, how coordinated are they? Are they able to send messages? Hey, Sloth worked. Time to test Gluttony. Time to test Wrath. Whatever. Right. Or and like, excuse me, why would, I guess they're all under Satella's guardianship, I guess. Like, I was thinking like, okay, why would Gluttony want to work with Greed when in the realm of dreams or the castle of dreams, Echidna and whatever frick Gluttony's name was, like, they don't seem to be very chummy. They're not like antagonistic to each other, but they're not also like, you know, super working together. So like, why would their archbishops want to work together? But I guess it's all in the direction of Satella. Then that would make more sense, I guess.
Yeah, potentially. And so it seems like some of the archbishops work together. Like, clearly Gluttony and Greed work together to some degree, but Sloth is operating completely by himself, it seems, right? Like, he could be off on his own assignment, but like,
that's what I get.
Right, he's
on his own assignment.
Right.
Yeah, maybe there's that too.
Yeah.
If I had to guess, I'd say there's like a 60-40. 60 it's an assignment, 40 it's independent.
Sure.
But yeah, both are likely. Okay. You do this next one.
Okay. We're getting some Japanese in here. All right. This
you do
is
this
the
one.
last one for episode 22. I will post it here and then I'll read it. Betelgeuse's authority had a second ability. Betelgeuse's authority of Sloth had another ability. I can't read those kanjis.
I believe in you.
Nope, definitely cannot. Roughly translating is slothful cancellation of others' actions. What? Activated by the voice command of Be Sloth.
Be Sloth. That's cool.
A sort of shockwave that made people go nuts and be unable to move. However, certain individuals, such as Subaru, were able to resist it. Whoa.
Did he never use that? That seems like very strong.
He probably did, but it probably got cut. Right?
Yeah. Okay.
Right? He probably did. That's probably how we know of it. Oh.
I wonder if Subaru knows. I wonder if Subaru can like use this in the future.
Yeah, right? Well, we just saw in episode 17. No, is it 16?
16. I think it was 16, yeah.
We saw frickin' Subaru give the old 1-2 to Garf with like unseen hand or whatever the frick. Oh, man. Wait for that reaction.
He figured that out?
One hell of a reveal. Oh my gosh.
How he figured that out is still beyond me, but that was pretty crazy.
That was amazing.
That was pretty sweet, yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Oh boy, that was so fun. My mind was blown. I didn't even it's so obvious in retrospect, but like it was so shocking to be like, oh, he used it. But then I was like, well, of course he could use it, I guess, right? Like, I don't know, it was crazy.
Yeah, the way it's worded here too, Betelgeuse's authority, it's not even the sloth factor, it's authority of Sloth. From the comments, I've gathered, and I didn't want to read too heavily in because like I got like, you know, my spoiler antenna freaking went off. But it's like, as far as I understand, there's a difference between the factor and the authority. And maybe it's the factor that gives you the authority. But like, okay, this raises another question. Is an authority, so real quick, is an authority something that is unique to you? And when you gain the factor, there's like, you gain an authority of Sloth and it does certain things? Or is that like, it's the same for everybody? Everybody that has the Sloth factor has the same authority, right? Like,
it's the same thing. It's the same thing.
It's the same thing. Okay, let's
right.
Chat. Okay.
Thank you, chat. Appreciate that.
Authority is the opposite of blessings. Ah, okay.
Okay, so wait, chat. Is that like divine blessings? Blessings?
That's
or
what
like,
I get, yeah.
So divine blessings and authorities / witch factors are like the same thing, yes. Oh.
Yes, authority is unique depending on the witch factor holder. Ah, okay. Dude, what authority does Subaru have?
Well, he's inherited some kind of authority from Satella,
He's not
right?
snapping. His brain isn't snapping. This is what Satella told him about Sloth. He's like, oh, if it wasn't for the witch factor. But she did say specifically witch factor now, if I remember correctly.
She did, but it's the same thing, right? Like, it's interchangeable. Authority. Maybe some of them call it an authority because that's how they view it. But the people who really know...
That's the difference that I'm... Hold on. Wait, so factor is the same as authority?
Factor is the same as authority. Yes, the witch factor is the same as the authority. That's what the chat is saying.
Okay, I thought they were saying the opposite. Okay.
No.
Okay.
Which factor
grants
authority.
an authority.
Okay, so they're a little bit slightly different. So the witch factor grants an authority and the divine protections. You know the thing that frickin' Otto has?
Otto has,
right, that he was born
thing?
with?
Yeah.
Right, that's kind of like an authority, but the opposite. It's like a blessing.
Given to you from an evil... Yeah, blessing is given to you from a good source?
Good deity or something, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Okay, is that correct? Is our understanding of that right?
Basically, the witch factors give authority.
Witch factor allows to have authority, but ability of authority varies based on person.
Right, okay. So... Subaru getting the Sloth factor doesn't necessarily mean he's going to get unseen hand. Because it varies person how the authority manifests.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. I wonder if the fact that Subaru had seen Betelgeuse have unseen hand somehow
influenced him.
Can you influence the authority you get? And he's like,
maybe.
Oh, well, I should get this, but he didn't necessarily need to get unseen hand. It's just what he imagined Sloth to have, and therefore he got it that way.
Or we should call it what it properly is known as is invisible providence is what he decided to name
Oh, that's
it.
right. That's what he named it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. I can't believe you remember that. I totally forgot that till you mentioned that.
Yeah. Because he was thinking like,
nice.
Oh, what do I want to call this? Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Let's see. So let's go to 23. I think I posted that, or I'm about to.
Okay.
It's posted in the Discord. Go ahead.
Episode 23. Beatrice's memory was being unaffected by gluttony due to her door crossing dimension ability. In the loop after the White Whale battle, Subaru manages to reach the mansion and convinces everyone but Beatrice to escape. Once he reaches the library, he has a short talk with Beatrice, in which Beatrice questions Subaru about Rem. The magnitude of this is tremendous, as by this time, the blank letter, which was written by Rem, not Subaru, has reached the mansion. Shortly afterwards, the conversation breaks down, and Subaru is sent to Arlan Village via door crossing. Door crossing? What is that?
Door crossing. I guess.
And this is...
Is it possible that the doors in the village are connected to the mansion, like the mansion doors are connected to Beatrice's thing?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. And then I thought that we had seen in some comments that this isn't exactly true, that this is like web novel only.
Web novel, Beatrice's durability, not really canon. She forgets as soon as she steps out. It's not totally canon. Okay. His ability to access the library with doors. Door crossing is Beatrice's ability to link her to the mansion. Okay. It's web novel only.
Oh, so she can... Door crossing is Beatrice's ability to link her library to the mansion. Okay, so... Can she open that door to anywhere else in the world, or like at least near vicinity?
Probably in the vicinity, I would imagine. But people are saying it's web novel only.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll skip this one then.
I don't know how you knew that, but I didn't know that. So okay, it's web novel.
I remember seeing some comments, talking about that.
Okay, I must not. I must have squinted too hard for that one.
Sure.
Okay. So we've got 23.
Episode 23 again. Yep.
You can skip Shadow Garden 4, says Hamburger Lover. I don't know why we would. That's the one we're about to read. How did you know that? Bum, bum, bum. We're going to read it anyways. It's on the list.
Okay.
After his assisted suicide undertaken by Julius, Subaru finds himself in the dark ethereal realm and meets the shadow woman figure again, feeling intense love for her, hearing the words, I love you multiple times. Feeling intense love for her. He feels
love for her. This time the feeling is mutual. Why? Again, and they say we'll get an answer later in the cut content stuff, but again, it just makes me wonder what is the nature of these realms, dude.
Yeah, that's
like
strange.
how do they work?
It also makes me sus about Subaru's love for Amelia and how he immediately feels love for Satella here. Is it like magically inclined? Dun, dun, dun. Or is it because she looks like Amelia and he feels the love for her because he recognizes her and he's like, oh, I love Amelia. I also love this person that looks just like Amelia.
And he did immediately when he saw her in the tea party thing. He's like, I'm going to save you. He wasn't like, frick you, get away from me. Don't talk to me. Don't touch me. He's like,
he was a little bit standoffish initially, to be fair.
Yes, but I don't know. If I'm trying to put myself in his shoes, and granted, it's hard to put yourself in the shoes of anyone who's gone through something like Subaru, but everything I would know about this witch would certainly make me a very biased participant in that whole thing. And my initial reaction would be like, I'm going to save you. It's like, kill me. It's like, well, maybe he's literally being just contrarian to what she's saying. And she's like, save me or kill me, please. He's like, no, frick you. I'm going to save you. But I don't think that was the motivation. I think it was like a genuine, like, I'm going to save you.
Right. Okay. All right. Next one.
All right. Shadow Garden scene 5.
Yes.
Oh boy. Okay.
Go ahead.
After Subaru is knocked unconscious by the explosion of the magic stones, he finds himself in the dark ethereal realm once more. This is similar to previous iterations, feeling extreme love and hearing I love you over and over. However, someone else is calling to him, presumably Amelia, next to his unconscious body, to a world of light. No! Dude, this throws a wrench in all my Amelia predictions. What? In this, there are ominous lines regarding Subaru's remember who you are. Bro, that's kind of cryptic. Remember what you have to do. Oh, dude. Okay, remember the words you must exchange in the world where you belong? He couldn't stay there. And after deciding to leave the world of darkness, he says, next time, I'll probably come to meet you to the shadow, which replies with, I'll be waiting. Whoa, what? Okay, hold on. This is a meaty one. Okay. First off,
content,
let's pull up episode 25. What is this?
Right. Jamie, can you pull that up?
Yeah, I want to see the magic stones. I want to see everything that precedes this.
Okay. Hold up.
Because that is wild. Okay.
Magic stones.
Yeah, the magic stones.
What magic stones? These ones?
I don't remember magic. Oh, yes. The ones underneath the thing.
Right. So is it this part?
Oh, it's right here. Okay. So right now bro, why did they cut this? This would have been so good to have, dude. Okay, so I guess there's nothing we can gain from the stuff that precedes it.
Right. All right, lay
Someone
it on me,
else
George.
is calling to him, Amelia, next to his unconscious body to world of light. Okay. Well, actually, we can gain something from this because Amelia actually is physically there next to him. So this could be interpreted as multiple ways. The more straightforward way is like
it's
Amelia
literally her.
is just literally her calling him out of this realm, like out of unconsciousness, and that's why it's seen as like a light realm, and it's her calling him
because he was in the shadow realm in his mind, right? So it makes sense that she's calling him back to the realm of the light. You know?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
However,
the other. This actually sounds less likely now that I know she's actually physically next to him. But when I initially read this, I thought, like, is Amelia, like, unbeknownst to her, also present in this shadow realm, and, like, her soul or her spirit is, like, fighting against Satala? And the reason I thought it threw a wrench in my theories is because after episode 17, I'm not 100% there yet based on some of the stuff they said, but I strongly suspect her of being the witch in a way, like either, Envy has been separated from Amelia or something, right?
Right. We had a huge discussion about this Envy, Satella, Amelia thing in 17. Oh boy, just get ready for that. That's a long one.
But okay, the other stuff though is still pretty meaty. Remember who you are.
Oh, that's
remember
huge,
what you have to do. Remember the words you must exchange in the world where you belong. Is this like Earth? Is this realm? Like,
think in my mind, one interpretation is time shenanigans. Okay, we've had potential time shenanigans of like,
we've had some hintings at it too, right?
Right. Is this like a loop? This is like a full loop. Like maybe he's done like a super loop, right? He's looped all the way back from like way in the future when the series has ended. Now he's looped back to the beginning. And it's kind of referencing that. However, I think another interpretation of this is they're saying, remember the words you must exchange in the world where you belong. He couldn't stay there. If they're talking about Earth, are they referencing the trial and what he has to exchange, the words he has to exchange with his family that he left behind, and he couldn't stay in that world, right? To prepare him for the trial, right? Is this like a type of preparation that she's trying to help him prepare for the trial that Greed's going to give him? Like she would be on the down low on the trial because Greed facilitates the trial and she kind of understands what he may go through.
Do you think this is Greed talking to him here then, saying these words?
I think it's Satella trying to prep him for the trial that Greed will give him.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. I can kind of see that. It seems like a little bit too far in advance, maybe, but maybe she doesn't know. Maybe she doesn't know like the next time he's going to be in this realm.
Right.
And I'm noticing a pattern. He only arrives here when he passes out. Or dies, I guess. The first time he actually died. So it's not necessarily only passing out.
Right. Huh. Yeah. It's very strange.
Dude, there's so much here. This is a big one, dude.
This is a meaty one.
Big one.
This is hella meaty. Yep. All right. Well,
is it buffering? Is the stream buffering for you guys?
Stream is buffering?
Guys, is it buffering for you as well? It's buffering for me as well. I see 2 comments.
It is,
chat like that.
Okay, hold on.
Stream is fine for me. Huh. It's okay
Sometimes.
now. Okay.
It's fine now, a little earlier. Has it been fine the whole time and just recently it started? Or sometimes every now and again? Has it been buffering at times, like the whole time? If it is, I can change the bitrate. Hold on.
Okay.
Let me change the bitrate. YouTube was kind of complaining about this a bit ago, so
okay.
I was just not touching it Once in a while. Okay, let me fix it. It might drop the quality a lot, but I'm just going to do what YouTube has asked here about the stream. We'll see how this goes. The bit rate is going to drop by like a lot. Maybe I have to restart the stream.
Sure.
I have to restart the stream. But you guys won't notice any difference, but we'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay.
We're back?
We're back, I think. Are we back,
okay.
everyone? Are we back? We're back?
Looks like
I see a we're back. We're back. Okay, sick.
Okay,
hopefully that will fix the buffering problems. We're at ultra low latency. So it's not the usual latency that we stream at. So I had like 1440p and a different bit rate and stuff. So appreciate the patience with you with that.
Okay.
So hopefully that'll be a smoother experience for everybody too. That's the hope. All right. Now.
All right. Hold on. I still have more stuff to say about this little scene here.
What a shock. We have more to say.
Yes. I find this line here very, very interesting. And after deciding to leave the world of darkness, Subaru has a choice as to when he leaves this realm. That's pretty big, dude. Like, I don't know why it's big, but just like the more agency a character, this is like me meta storying right now. The more agency protagonist has in another realm, in almost every story I've ever read or seen or whatever, that's like a big thing. It like just is, because then they can control certain aspects of that realm further and have any additional implications beyond just Satella can't keep him here against his will, or maybe there's something more.
Sure.
Just wanted to point that out because it's it's an interesting line there.
I think it's a good to point out.
Yeah.
All right, George is cooking. We can't stop cooking over here. We got a whole freaking bench of chefs.
Yes.
All right, we are now getting into cut content for season 2. This is going to be the meaty stuff, everyone.
Oh boy, here
All
we
right,
go.
episode 1. Wilhelm's meaningful injury reopened due to his wife's divine protection of the death god.
There's a death god. Okay. That's an interesting tidbit.
It reopened due to his wife's protection? Wouldn't it not reopen?
What was his injury?
He just got fricked up from the whale, didn't he? Remember he got eaten?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
After the meeting at the parlor, Wilhelm reveals to Subaru that a wound of his is bleeding, a wound made to bleed by the power of the divine protection of the death god, once held by his wife, whose influence grows stronger as the distance between the injured person and the wielder diminishes.
What? I don't quite understand this. So he has a wound, let's just say a cut, and the cut is made to bleed because of the divine protection that he gets from the death god, which that divine protection was once held by his wife, so means it's been transferred. And if divine blessings function similar to authorities, that means there's a death god factor. Is that what this means?
Kind of.
And that was like transferred to Wilhelm,
whose influence grows stronger as the distance between the injured person and the wielder diminishes. The wielder would be his wife.
Yeah, but now him, and so like I don't quite understand this one. Can chat help us out?
Chat, is this real? Wilhelm doesn't have it. His wife has it. Wilhelm doesn't have the blessing. Right. His wife has the divine protection of death god, which makes wounds not able to heal when the user is close. What?
Oh.
So that means his wife is still alive?
His wife is in the whale, maybe?
In the whale.
Right?
At Grok, is this true?
Oh my god.
At Grok, what does this mean?
Most divine protections don't transfer like that. Okay. You're not going to be able to understand now. Okay.
This should have been skipped.
Uh-oh.
Is this season 3? No comment. Okay. All right. We're moving on.
All right. We'll just, move on.
We're moving on. I don't know what that's all about. It's very weird, and it is what it is. All right. The next one. Echidna was sealed at Volcanica, the divine dragon's command by Mathers to oppose the Witch of Envy.
What? Okay.
Echidna details that she was sealed by the Mathers magic at Volcanica's instruction in a faint hope that together with the divine dragon, the sword saint, the sage, and the witch of the witch of envy could be opposed. The original intent, however, was to seal Sekhmet, the witch of Sloth. The plan was scrapped by Volcana as Sekhmet beat him to a pulp.
The Witch of Sloth beat the divine dragon to a pulp? Okay. So, okay, why would sealing away Echidna help in opposing the Witch of Envy? She was sealed by the Mather's magic at Volcanica's instruction in a faint hope that together with the divine dragon, the sword saint, and the sage, the Witch of Envy could be opposed. So was Echidna, would she fight alongside Envy to not seal her away? To not seal Envy away?
Does sealing Echidna away diminish the power that the Witch of Envy got?
Yeah, I guess it says the original intention, however, was to seal Sloth away, but Volcanica's like, bro, she's too hard. We got wrecked.
That's crazy.
Let's just focus on greed.
Right. It's crazy that one of the witches was so strong that it could easily beat the dragon. Holy frick.
Yeah. Huh. This is
okay.
This is maybe why they couldn't kill Envy. Because, like, Sloth alone can destroy the dragon, and the dragon was together with the sage and the sword saint.
Yeah.
And the three of them,
Sekhmet is the strongest witch after Satella.
Okay.
Okay. This makes sense then. So they tried to seal her away to give them an advantage. We could take out second place. And then second place fricked the dragon up, and he's like, actually,
all right, let's take out third place. Scrap this plan.
This is not good, dude. This is bad.
Okay.
This is a big mistake, bros.
Interesting.
Okay. All right. Okay, very good.
Yeah.
All right. Episode 9.
Echidna was enshrined at Volcanica's command. Echidna states that the reason why she is still active is because her deceased soul was sealed by Volcanica's will. Henceforth, her body died, but her soul did not. So is this, again, what is the nature of these realms? Is this true for all the other witches? And their deceased soul is sealed away somewhere? Or even if it wasn't and the soul was destroyed, is this realm of dreams able to retain some different essence of the witches somehow?
There's so many freaking questions here. So, like, is
this
a particular thing to the witches? Like, if the witches are killed, does their spirit live on or their soul live on, but like their body can die? Or is it a nature of the sealing or the enshrined, whatever the frick that means? Is that because like she was enshrined and her body basically slowly died, but her soul lived on? Like,
and then
is this
why?
Right.
The
and then why?
Question: why does Volcanica? Why does the dragon want frickin' her sealed away? Yet he's like tried to get the Witch of Sloth. He's like, frick that, it's too hard. Let's kill her. But he's like, but don't destroy her completely. Let's seal her soul away. Like, is this one of those situations where, like, you know how like a lot of people, like a lot of stories and a lot of people say, like, you can't know sweet without bitter. Like, you can't. So
they gotta keep her around. But
you gotta keep greed around somehow, so people can, like, what would be the opposite virtue of greed? Like,
sure. selflessness.
Sure. Yeah. Like
charity.
Does that there you go. Sure. That works perfect. Like, does charity not exist in the world?
Right.
Because its opposite has been revealed or removed. Yeah.
That assumes that the witch's existence permeates their sin into the universe as a general principle, which we don't know if that's necessarily the case either, though.
Yeah. I'm just trying to find a reasoning as to why he's like, kill her, but don't destroy her. Keep part of her going here.
Sure, but like, what if killing her allows envy to like absorb her power or something, right? And that would make her stronger. It's like, we got to seal her, but we can't kill them, right? Because maybe she'll absorb the witch factor or something.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Maybe. I don't know. It's a long shot, right?
Yeah.
We don't really know.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't want to read too much. There's a lot of the weakest.
Yes. Moderators, I am trusting you here on knowing the chat is safe. So I'll proceed forth. Dragon bullying. Poor dragon, dude. He got wrecked.
Dude. He got freaked out, man. So funny. It is hilarious to me that he's like, all right, let's go frick him up. He's like, actually, you know what? Sloth has hands. That's funny. All right, let's do number 10, episode 10.
Okay.
The immortality experiments failure was produced by a powerful Ryuzu
no, produced
copy.
A powerful.
Oh,
no,
produced.
Yeah.
Yeah, produced a Ryuzu copy that was disposed by an ancestor of Roswell. Okay. When explaining the Ryuzu replicas and the immortality experiment performed by Echidna, Ryuzu mentions that there was a first clone into which Echidna attempted to insert her own soul, right? It failed as the vessel Ryuzu Mayor was insufficient to accept the Witch of Greed, and as such, a terrible failure with a bankrupt personality, and part of Echidna's power was born. Oh, frick.
Wow.
It was also disposed of eventually, albeit not without causing anguish to Lady Roswell, the head of the family some generations past. How much you want to bet that one's still frecking around?
Oh, dude.
Yes, that one, right?
They say disposed of, but that could mean several things. It's not necessarily terminated.
Right.
It's not synonymous per se with terminated.
Right. And she had a defective personality, which we know one of them did, right? One of them has kind of defected with Garf. Right?
Yeah. Okay. I wouldn't think it was that one. I think it's more like something off in the world, some
you think
evil
it's
little...
Yeah, like
evil little
totally
monster somewhere. Yeah, not even in the sanctuary, just like away somewhere. But okay.
Interesting. It also, again, I brought this up last time. I'm going to bring it up again. It's very freaking weird to me that Echidna, who looks like she does, made copies of someone. Allegedly, this is based off of someone, or even if it's not, it's just made a body to use. And it's a fucking little girl. Right? Is that not the weirdest thing ever? Like, why?
And it's like an elf. She's an elf, right?
Yeah, and she's an elf too, probably for the life longevity. Probably. But then again, like, it seems like a lot of these people live for freaking super long, right? You guys haven't seen this yet, but Goose, we know, apparently is living for a super freaking long time, maybe? But
he's
Regulus,
not an elf?
Maybe? Like, we don't know exactly what's going on there. And you guys don't have to tell us. But, like, something's going on with, like, the age thing. The problem is we don't know the timeline, right? That's the biggest thing, is we don't understand what the timeline is of, like, what's happened in Amelia's past and how long elves live and, like, what exactly the yearage is. So it's hard to say if Betelgeuse is, like, living for a super long time or not or what. So it is very strange. I will just say it is so strange that she's like, I'm going to go from this body to this body. It's just like, what? I mean,
it could be just that through her greed, she's like, she doesn't necessarily care what she looks like, as long as like she's able to, I don't know, make use of. I don't know.
Gyus is a spirit. That's a good point. Gyus is a spirit. Right.
Yes, we had seen that in some comments. Yes.
Right. Okay. Yeah. For some reason, I assumed that the Betelgeuse that we knew was a spirit that inhabited the body of Gyus, but like that doesn't make any sense based on like how we understand how spirits work. Betelgeuse or Gyus is a spirit, so it makes sense that he would live for so long. But that just raises more questions.
Well, then what about Regulus, right? What about anyone else with a witch factor? What about gluttony?
Well, you don't have to be a spirit to get the witch factor. Subaru has witch factor.
No, that's what I'm saying though. Like why does Regulus live so long? Is it the witch factor that gives you long life? Is it like one of its additional properties?
No, he has long life because he's a spirit.
No, I know about Betelgeuse. I'm talking about Regulus.
Regulus,
the Archbishop of Greed, right?
Yeah, well, we don't know. That's what I was saying, though. We don't know how long.
We don't know the timeline. Yeah.
How long it's passed. Yeah. So.
Okay.
No answers, good questions, won't say anything. Thank you, chat. We appreciate that. We don't want to hear any more. Okay.
Episode 12. I can do this
ahead.
one. If Puck does not destroy the world, that girl cannot be saved. In Subaru's second trial scene where Puck faces Reinhardt, after Puck explains his motivations for attempting to destroy the world, Reinhardt inquires as to confirm it, and Puck replies that if he does not do it, that girl cannot be saved. Whether this means Amelia or someone else is unclear.
Could be talking about Satella.
Yeah, why? If Amelia dies.
Yeah, exactly right.
Puck has to destroy the world
to save that girl. Obviously, it can't be Amelia.
Which means,
she's already dead.
Yeah, well, unless he's aware that there's, much like Roswell, that there's somebody in the world that's able to, if they die, they can reset the timeline. So maybe he's like, frick, she dies, I have to destroy the whole world because I don't know who out there has the ability to reset the timeline, but I have to trigger that, and so I have to kill them so that we can go back and she can live. Right?
Oh, because ending the world would be such a severe thing. Because it's just like Roswell knows that Subaru can reset, but he doesn't know how he does it. So he beats the frick out of Subaru, potentially hoping that he'll reset. Like, go back, you motherfucker, and he starts kicking him, right?
Yes.
And then he doesn't because he doesn't get how it works. And then if Puck has generally the same understanding by what you're saying, then he's like, I don't know how it's going to happen, but I know if something as bad as the world ending happens, that person's going to reset.
It'll reset. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Interesting frickin' theory. Okay. All right.
But
that's a good one.
The other thing too, and again, maybe I'm latching onto words too strongly. Maybe this is like a translation grammar difference, but he doesn't say this girl. He says that girl. Yeah. And he's possibly usually near Amelia.
Right.
So it's much more likely he'd say this girl, talking about Amelia, but
right.
Who knows,
but if they're trying to be in Japanese, a lot of times if you're trying to be ambiguous, whether it's Amelia who's beside him, but he's just trying to say that girl in an ambiguous way because anime, then you would say that girl. Right?
Okay.
Yeah. You would say
so maybe it is a translation thing.
Right. It would be like Anoko, or like Ano would be like that thing, or like that watch, like Ano Toki or Ano Kanojo or something like that. It'd be like that girl, right? So it would just kind of be like an ambiguous type of thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Sonohito,
that's what I interpreted.
Right.
That's a common theory.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. All right. Seems like we landed on something
cooking.
good here. Okay.
We're cooking.
Yes.
That's great. Very good. All right. George is spoiling us for arc 19. Bang. All right.
I read the first line of this next one.
Satella and the Witch of Envy are not the same person.
It sounds like freaking insane spoiler. Is this? Are we? What?
This is cut?
Dude, this sounds spoilery to me.
How could this be cut? How could this possibly be cut? That's crazy.
Yes. Yeah.
It's not a spoiler. Boom.
This is not a spoiler? What?
Okay, I'll read it. Let's do this. Satella and the Witch of Envy are two separate entities. A personality that arose once Satella, being incompatible with them, took up the Witch of Envy factor. It is explicitly stated that all of the witches, except Echidna, only hate the Witch of Envy and like Satella. Echidna is the sole exception, hating both Satella and the Witch of Envy.
Hold on, we got to read this again. Satella and the Witch of Envy are two separate entities. A personality that arose once Satella, being incompatible with them, took up the Witch of Envy factor.
So let me read that a third.
So Satella took up the Witch of Envy factor, and she, being incompatible with it, being the factor, Satella, the Witch of Envy arose. No?
It's being incompatible with the Witch of Envy. Right? So Satella split off from the Witch of Envy and took the witch factor with her?
I read it the opposite way. I read it as Satella took the Envy factor, and then the Witch of Envy arose because like Satella was incompatible with it.
Chat is going crazy right now.
Yes, yeah. Satella is the
Split
person who took up the
two personalities. Yeah. So she was incompatible.
Okay. Yeah. So Satella took the Envy factor.
George is correct. No, you're correct. You're correct.
George is right. Okay. Yeah. So what I understand it is, Satella was already an existing person. The witch factor, Envy factor was out there somewhere. The mechanics of that I don't understand and we don't know. But she took that factor, and then Satella arose out of, Envy arose out of Satella once she had taken the witch factor.
What the hell does the witch factor do then?
But okay, hold on. It's you guys are saying it's split personality, but they're two separate entities? Okay. Hold on.
Cook, George. Cook.
Okay. We talk a lot about, we've said it, but I feel like I've said a lot mostly about how the Witch of Envy and Emilia were once combined, and the actual sealing was like a separation of Emilia. And the essence of Envy, Envy's whatever the frick. Could this be it? Could Satella and Emilia be the same one and the same, but Envy is holding Satella prisoner somehow, or that's what was sealed away or something?
Are there three entities or two? Emilia, the Witch of Envy, and Satella? Or is it the Witch of Envy?
Okay, new theory.
All right, hit me.
There are three beings in one. Emilia, Satella, and Envy.
Okay.
All inhabit the same physical body. It used to be just Satella and Emilia.
Right.
Through the sealing, it used to be just Satella, then it became Envy and Satella. Through the sealing, they tried to remove Envy from Satella, but it was an impartial or incomplete or imperfect removal / sealing. Okay. And so then what arose then was Emilia. So Emilia is an incomplete Satella, and what we now know as the Witch of Envy, who we saw in the Tea Party, is actually like 90%. It's 100% envy plus an additional bit of Satella. And so Amelia is like 90% Satella, and current envy is 110%, because she's 100% envy, 10% Satella. And that's why Satella says, save me, because the 10% left over in that ceiling wants to reunite with her, the rest of her spirit, the rest of her body, whatever, and become 100% Satella. And then we have Amelia separated and Satella. I haven't read chat. I'm guessing I'm totally up on this.
You burned the food, George.
Oh, no. Dang it. I left it in the oven too long. Dang it.
Yeah, you're cooking too much, bro. Okay, hold on. Let's dial it back a little bit.
So okay.
Hold on.
The reason
I need to cook a little bit. You gotta let your stuff marinate.
Yes.
Just marinate a little bit.
Go for it.
I'm curious as to if, because think about it like this, right? We've had Satella, right, in the dream realm. I'm just trying to let's put down the pieces first, right, of like what everything is before we can like theorize. So Satella's in the dream realm, and Amelia's obviously in the physical realm. However, we have literally seen the Witch of Envy in the physical realm, right? She showed up in one of the timelines. So is it possible?
Was that Amelia possessed?
Right.
Or do you think that was...
Now, because the question is, we've seen mind break Amelia from mind breaking without any support in the trials.
Yes.
Right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So the question then is the Witch of Envy that we see somehow that the Witch of Envy has possessed Amelia, right? And so is the Witch of Envy in Amelia and slumbering, or was she able to inhabit her for some reason, or does she come from somewhere else entirely, right? That's the question.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, the reason I was I was like heavily leaning towards the potential fact that, or the potential theory that Amelia and Satella are like one and the same. Right. And the reason for all this was like that through the ceiling, Amelia was left back. But if that's not true, and Amelia and Satella are just, they look alike, but they have nothing to do with each other, then all my other current theories just fall to the ground. That was like the base of all that. Yeah.
The way this is written is really difficult. It is explicitly stated that all the witches except Echidna only hate the Witch of Envy and like Satella. It just seems like a weird way of writing it. But Echidna is the sole exception, hating both Satella and the Witch of Envy. Okay. Satella and the Witch are two separate entities. A personality that arose
insane
once Satella, being incompatible with them, took up the Witch of Envy factor. So she took up the factor.
Yeah.
The personality that arose once Satella, being incompatible with the personality, took up the witch factor. So she got the envy witch factor, and then the personality of the Witch of Envy arose, and she was incompatible.
Yeah. And so now there's two beings, two minds, split personality living in that one body. So, okay, why take up the witch factor in the first place?
That's a great freaking question. Was she the Witch of Envy before that point?
Well, it sounds to me like she wasn't. It sounds to me like Satella was an independent being. And so again, can you maybe I'm throwing
witches? Did the witches not exist before that point then?
Oh, dude.
Right?
I didn't even think of that. Yeah, I always thought the witches is eternal. But yeah, you're right.
So
did the witches...
Can you make witches? And if that's the case, that would explain a little bit as to what Betelgeuse is doing by the ordeal to her, because previously Satella couldn't handle the witch factor, and she freaking mind split personality-wise. So now he's got to do the ordeal to like, okay, well, that kind of freaked up. We got to make sure that this doesn't happen again, right?
Okay.
Maybe.
Okay.
Something like that.
All right, bro. I'm going to burn down the kitchen again.
Oh, boy. All right. I'll put it on the freaking air filter here.
Okay. If the factor itself is independent and ever present and can't be destroyed.
Okay.
But there are beings who are compatible with said factors who can take up the mantle of the sin, right? Like, does that mean there was a witch of envy long before Satella? She was killed or destroyed at some point, which left the witch factor by itself behind somewhere.
Right.
Another person came in, took it up, and this is a loop. Back to your time loop theory, this is a loop that's been repeating over and over and over. And very minor spoilers again for the Wheel of Time. The Wheel of Time keeps turning and things repeat, and this is just another kind of iteration in the turning of the wheel, right? And like, this is something that's repeated itself multiple times. A Subaru-like entity always arises, and you have to pull him in from this other world, and that's why he has to remember.
You're doing like a Zelda thing, right? Like a Zelda thing where there's always a Zelda,
that's probably
always a Ganon, and there's always a Link, right? And a Link rises up to always fight the Ganon. I don't know necessarily if that's going to be the case. However, it did make me think that, is Subaru in love with the witch factor, or is Subaru in love with Amelia, right? Probably Amelia, but because she doesn't have the witch factor right now. But is there some kind of, through the passing of the worlds, he has interacted, probably come in some form of contact with Satella and the witch factor. And so has that affected him in some way, right? Has that caused him? Because he did, when he was in the freaking Shadow Garden, he felt love, right? So like, that's fucking sus, right? So like, has this affected him in some way? Yeah. Right? So that's freaking weird, right? That's...
Yeah.
I don't know.
And Zelda and Link always manage to like find each other somehow. Ganon always manages to freaking take Zelda, right? Like, it's like
and are the witches something that's like, it's not a person that's the witch, it's the witch factor that has existed for forever and that possesses someone, and they become the witch, right? Satella became the Witch of Envy in the effect that she gained the witch factor, and then she wasn't able to control it. Therefore, the Witch of Envy kind of spirals out of control from a personality perspective. And all of these previous witches, they gained super strong powers, but they're not necessarily...
They're all like once human or something.
That's right. They were not the freaking witch. They were a witch that was created from the factor, and the factor is the eternal aspect that creates the witches, right?
Yeah.
So maybe
sounds right.
I could have burned some eggs with this cook, but I give it my best.
Yeah, we got to get the fire extinguisher here going on. Yeah, let's see. Does chat? What does chat say?
Yeah, what's chat?
None of us knows. Who knows? Okay,
Dark Souls.
Maybe we didn't fully burn the kitchen down.
all right. Maybe Satella is Patresh from another timeline.
Oh my gosh!
Freaking cook, bro!
My goodness, dude!
Holy frick, bro! Amazing.
Okay.
All right, let's keep going here, shall we?
Oh, fun fact. On the first trial, all the anime figures Subaru has, all of them have white hair for some reason.
Yes.
I don't know if this means something.
Yes, I noticed that as well.
Interesting.
Yeah. That was freaking super weird. I didn't mention it, but...
Yeah. Okay, interesting. All right, let's see here. Episode 13 again. The Witch of Envy is bad, but Satella was the one who did the bad things. There's a couple of extra details about the Satella / Witch of Envy split personality affair. First, Echidna states that the witch factor was forcibly inserted into Satella. Oh, this answers some of my questions from the previous one. Okay, who was not compatible, which led to the Witch of Envy persona's appearance. Second, although the witches like Satella and hate the Witch of Envy, it was Satella's personality Satella personally,
It was
I think
the
was supposed to
Satella
be.
personality.
Oh,
so
sorry.
it
It was the Satella personality that killed all the witches and consumed half the world.
Bro.
Why? Was she angry? Was she's like, frick you guys for doing this to me?
For doing this to me, maybe. Yeah.
I'm going to take revenge.
You're going to make me a witch? Well, I'll frickin' show you.
Yeah, I'll show you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, who would forcibly insert that into her and why? Is the theory that the Witch of Envy is a half-elf girl with like white hair? Is this like a prophecy that is long, like thousands of years old? It's not only like 400 years old. This is like 2,000 years old. And whoever, when Satella was around, she's like, she fits. She's a half-elf, silver-haired girl. Let's take her. The witch cult then... Maybe the witch cult doesn't even worship Satella. Maybe they're like just the envy factor or something.
Right.
And they're the ones who...
Well, first of all, there's got to be like an originator of where these facts... Maybe the originators, so like thousands of years ago, there were these witches that got together and they are the original creators of the factors, right? So they were so powerful and they created the factors, but each of them were like... And the Witch of Envy, the classic ancient Witch of Envy, was a silver-haired half-elf. So maybe the witch factor can only be most compatible with girls, I guess, in the future that share the same characteristics as closely most associated with the original witch, right? The ancient originator witch, right? That could be a possibility.
Sure. Yeah.
But they're not guaranteed, and that's why the ordeal has to be done. Now, maybe they thought at some point that like, oh, well, it should be compatible. We'll just force it in and it should work, right? Or maybe they knew it wouldn't be totally compatible, and they knew that forcing it on her would provide the original Witch of Envy's personality that they wanted, right? That could be another thing, right?
Yeah, and it makes me think of like what you were just saying made me think of Greed. She's willing to transfer herself to a completely physically different entity.
And
right?
it didn't work,
so
though.
Like, it didn't work, but neither did Satella, apparently. It didn't fully work all the way. So maybe there was like something envious about the original witch, and she's like, I don't want some like dirty blonde hair, blue eyes person taking my witch factor, right? Maybe she's like, I want somebody like me taking witch factor. So a blonde hair or a white hair half elf thing. And maybe it was like more like a not down to earth, right? But more like a basic envious motivation as opposed to something else.
I don't know, bro.
But yeah. Okay. All right.
Next one.
Episode 13 again times 3. The manner of the death
of
the witches.
Times 2.
So times 2. Subaru is a sage candidate. A sage. Daphne dubs Subaru as a sage candidate. The significance of this is unknown. Daphne also implies that because of his status as a sage candidate, he should be already aware of the Satella and the Witch of Envy are different things situation. Being a candidate of a sage inherently brings knowledge with it.
Yeah,
not even being a sage, simply being a candidate to become something.
Is it because you're knowledgeable about certain things that gives you the qualification to be the sage, or is it getting the qualification of the sage gives you access to that
gives you
information?
knowledge? That's a great question, and that would answer a lot as to how like knowledge is permeated throughout the world. However, this kind of gives the answer as to why Subaru was like, I'll save you to Satella. He already inherently knew she wasn't necessarily envy. Right? Like, why else would he say that? Like, we've tried to theorize about it a lot.
Wait, everyone's saying skip for some reason. Hold on. What were you guys saying skip about? Skip the one the one that George started reading and then didn't? Subaru wasn't supposed to know. Apparently, this one. No, it should be fine. I mean, like, it's all right. It's not a huge deal, I don't think. Knowing that he's the sage. The sage one? Yeah.
Sage skip. Okay. All right. Well, yeah. We won't theorize on it more
at
then.
That. Yeah. It's interesting. I don't know if it gives too much away. Hopefully it doesn't, at least in the like very little context that we have.
No skipping required. There's no spoilers. No, that's fine. Okay.
It's fine. Okay.
I'd say more of a just a thing to keep a pin on for now kind of thing. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah. That's what we'll do then. Something interesting there with like the knowledge of like being a sage. Like what is it because
what that
entails.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
The manner of death of the witch is given. Minerva died of insanity in a trap created by elves. Okay. Carmilla perished in a sea of flames. Oof.
Jeez.
Daphne wasted to death amidst an ocean of sand. Typhon drowned in a flood.
Oh.
Sekhmet fell down the great waterfall as she rained destruction upon the dragon. Oh, frick.
Yeah.
Huh.
These are so... Like, maybe not the dragon and falling off the great waterfall, because I don't know what that means exactly, but these are such, like, regular ways of dying.
Right? Yeah. I was
like a sea of flames. Okay. Carmilla, who is that again? Is that rage?
Carmilla is lust, I think.
Or lust? Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
Sea of flames. Like, if I thought of the witches, I wouldn't think that they could be burned alive. Unless it's like some special magical fire with like special properties.
Witches' #1 weakness is being burned alive. What do you mean? They're witches. That's like the whole thing about witches, isn't it?
True. Okay, sure. But okay, an ocean of sand. Daphne wasted to death amid an ocean of sand. So she died of starvation in the desert. That's like a very human thing. Yeah. Like, I don't know. It's just not what I expected.
Typhon I think it's interesting because it's like they have a lot of powers, yes, but in some ways they're still human.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is, right? Their body is still human.
Reinhard is insane. The dude's busted. But if you stuck him in a desert and he had to go for 30 days to go get some freaking water and food, he would die.
Yeah. Okay.
Right? He's not invincible. He's just really powerful, right? Which is quite a big difference.
Yeah, Echidna collected their souls remaining bound to the present world by soul alone. So their bodies died.
So their bodies died, but their souls continued. This explains a little bit what we've been wondering.
Yes, and they retained their witch factor, their soul, so it's not something tied to the body, it's something tied to the soul.
Does it say that they retain their witch factor? I don't know if they necessarily did.
No, I'm just kind of thinking out loud with that last one there. Like
maybe they did, maybe they didn't.
Right? Yeah, hard to say. I mean,
Sloth died from his body's perspective, and it seems like the witch factor jumped over to Subaru. So it could be tied to your physical body.
True. But he is a spirit too, right? So like, yeah.
Reinhardt wouldn't die. He would survive. Guys, he's got to die somehow. He's literally invincible. He's built different.
ReZero world is actually flat. The Great Waterfall is the edge of the world. Okay.
Whoa, that's actually so cool. Okay.
Interesting. It's like all the old maps that show the edge of the world is literally a waterfall that like falls over.
Yeah, that's amazing. Okay. I actually love that.
Interesting.
Okay. Huh. All right.
Okay, we got one more here. The last
this is
one.
The one after this is 19, so this is it.
Which we haven't read, yes. Echidna guided Subaru towards rejecting her offer intentionally as her preferred outcome.
What?
Minerva blatantly calls out Echidna for guiding Subaru towards rejecting her offer, to which Echidna replies that she would be glad with either result. However, Daphne too calls her out, saying that Echidna has no qualms in manipulating things to her desired outcome, and that despite being glad with either, that she had a preferred result. Why? Doesn't she want to see all the potential outcomes?
No. This doesn't make any sense. Hold on. They were moments away from making the deal. And it was only not made because the other witches interrupted. So that can't be the case. She was about to make it, right? Like, she influenced everything to the point where it was going to happen. And it was external factors that stopped it. So that couldn't have been her preferred thing. Why would she go and do... But she said she was fine with either one? Unless...
fine with either one makes sense. Because she wants to know the outcomes of everything. And so she's like, the potential outcomes I could know if I knew if he took the deal is like gigantic, but there are still a bunch of timelines where I don't have the deal, and I want to see what those contain as well. Like,
but if it's not her preferred outcome, so then it has to be that she was manipulating the other witches to interrupt the deal that she was about to make by excessively omitting information to Subaru, which she knew would cause the other witches to interrupt, which would bring them all together, which would cause her actual preferred scenario from happening. She just played everybody. Like, could that be the case? Could she be that freaking clever that she manipulated even the other witches to get a preferred outcome? But then, like, why is not making the deal her preferred outcome? And why is this scenario of the witches coming together her preferred outcome?
I don't know.
Everyone's just simping for freaking Echidna in the chat.
Echidna is that clever?
She's the Tower of Wisdom. She's very complicated. Frack.
Echidna character is very complicated.
Find out in content at the end of the season. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
All right. Okay, there's something going on with Echidna. There's so much more to her than meets the eye, it feels like.
I mean, she's the one that ended up collecting all the souls of the witches too, right?
Yeah. She's so conniving. Like, she's such a planner.
Yeah. Yeah, and like, why does she have this... Why does she do the trials in the way that she does them?
Yeah, and I feel like the dialogue that she has with people isn't, like, honest. Like, she's like, she berates, like, Amelia, and I feel like it's just not totally honest, right?
Yeah. It could all be an act.
Because she says things in the last episode in 17, she was like, oh, well, you can, like, it's too bad that you think that about me because, like, don't think I'm, like, a bad person just because I'm, like, berating you, basically. And it's just like... she makes these little comments like this all the time, and I'm just kind of like, there's something freaking weird about this. Like, I can't quite put my finger on it, but something about it is just like she's saying, like, listen, I'm being bad, but I'm not a bad person. You just don't get it, okay? It's like everything like people are saying, she's playing 5D chess, and I just don't understand. Like, she's miffed, right? It would be like if I was playing the villain, but really I knew I wasn't playing the villain, but everyone's like, you're the villain. And I'd be like, don't call me the villain. You know, don't think that I'm the villain, guys. And everyone would be like, bro, why does he say he's not the villain, right? It's just so weird. She's like, doing that kind of thing. Villain.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's hard to say. I don't know.
It's so strange.
Dude, there's so much content too. I'm not going to read this, but there's a lot.
Yeah,
holy crap.
There's a lot more. Yeah, it's just, she's been bothering, she's the character the most that, like, I'm just, like, so freaking sus about that there's something going on. But, like, obviously, like, they're holding it all back. We're not supposed to know. But there's so many breadcrumbs. There's more breadcrumbs with Echidna than almost any other freaking character. And all the other characters seem just as freaking confused as what she's doing as we do.
Yeah.
And just
I think maybe the only one more is, like, Amelia. Slightly.
Right. Maybe, but and then right when we feel like we know that what's going on with Echidna and what her grand strategy was, it was like the big reveal of her plan of what she wanted to do with Subaru was actually a freaking false flag, and it was like she has another plan. She's got like plans within plans. It's just like, bro, what the frick? What is going on?
Yeah, I don't know.
How's the harem detector? Beep, 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 beep. It's always going off, bro. It's always going on. I see people hating on my detector in the comments. I see you guys upset. I understand. But you know what? It's not going away. And I may be wrong at times, but it is weird that so many of the ladies are all simping for frickin' Subaru, okay? I won't harp on it as much anymore, but if it comes up blatantly, I'm gonna talk about it. I'm not gonna shy away. Just because people will complain,
it is what
I'm
it
not
is.
Gonna talk about it. I just may not say it as much. It's like one of the reasons why I don't call every cute character that exists in the show adorable and cute every time I freaking see them, because saying it every time would be annoying. So I won't say the harem stuff every time, but I certainly will. So just you wait, okay? It's coming.
I keep back some of my anime aversions as well, because it's just like I state it once, people know, and then it's like, all right, I don't need to cringe every single time something happens. And thankfully, like the story transcends most of like all of that stuff. Really,
all right, George, what's your biggest gripes right now? Then go ahead, tell us. Tell the class.
I don't like pouty characters. Thankfully, Amelia hasn't been as pouty as much anymore. But like, just like, come on, you're an adult now, okay? Nobody acts like that in real life, okay? Please, let's just.
Can you believe this guy? Upset about cute anime girls pouting.
Dude, who have you ever met that has actually pouted that you didn't immediately write off as like a cringe human being?
George, have you ever met an anime character? Have you met an anime character before?
No, because they don't exist, dude.
Exactly. Okay? So why are you upset? They're not real. They're just anime, and they're freaking adorable when they pout.
It's immersion breaking for me. All right, like that's all it is.
Nothing brings me into an anime more than cute anime girls.
Oh my gosh,
okay?
bro.
And everything that they do.
Okay. Let's see what else about like like. Thankfully, there's not been like what's his face, Ferris. Like all the nya stuff. Like, come on, dude. Again, if you saw a person like this in real life, you would just like cringe into a freaking singularity. It'd be so freaking cringy, dude. So it's just like stuff like that is very immersion breaking, and I don't know why, because like, oh yeah, a giant flying whale that can freaking erase people from existence.
No problem.
Let's go. No problem.
Catboy saying freaking yeah. George is freaking
yeah in the middle of a sentence. Dude, get me out of here, man. What the frick is that?
Barris says frickin' yeah, and I go, I'll take 17. Thank you very much.
Okay, sure. Lovely. But yeah, you know.
He's a cat. Come on, thank you, One Red Bullet. I totally agree.
Dude,
he's a cat.
Okay, cats don't speak, okay? They're like, they don't look human.
It's better.
Okay, I know. It's just doesn't work for me, man. It just rips me right off. And I don't know how much people can see in the things, and I like sometimes I watch our reactions and like I'm like, oh my god, like I say that to myself.
When I
like,
see the eye rolls, I try and keep them in. So yeah,
sometimes I'm like, don't eye roll right now, George. Just pay attention.
Yeah. The cat speaks with me. The cat speaks to me.
Sure, George, yeah. Anyways,
so
like I was saying though, the story thankfully is so meaty, it transcends all that stuff. But will I ever get over it? I don't think so. And it's a big
doubt.
It is.
It's a big doubt, folks. It's a really big doubt. George is right. Oh, honeydew, no, you can't agree with the normie.
Yes, thank you, honeydew.
No, this is not good. This is not good.
What kind of anime club doesn't like cat boys? This anime club, okay?
Thank you. Reincarnated as a cat boy, literally my freaking dream. Actually, change it to cat girl. We'll get a little bit closer, but
oh my gosh, this freaking dude.
Well, I mean, we keep you around because you're such a great cook. You got good takes, George, but you don't watch yourself with all this demi girl freaking talk.
The hybrids, the hybrid aversion. Yes, that's never gonna go away, dude. How long have we known each other now? It's been over a decade, and you have still yet to sway me in all of this. So
listen, I wasn't working on it until at least like several years ago. Okay, so I got lots of time. Okay.
Yeah, we've known each other for over a decade, and it's been like 9 years since you've been working on this. Okay, so it's not gonna change, dude.
It's not necessarily that long, George. Okay.
Sure. I haven't
begun in earnest.
It was almost from day one now. Okay. Oh, now you're gonna begin. Okay, let's go.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Well, that's fine. It is what it is, George. You can like what you like. This will help us maintain our clear weeb and normie status. So
sure, yeah,
I'll allow it.
That's okay. It's not gonna change, bro. No matter how hard you try, or our chat, or all the anime we watch or will watch. It's I don't think I can get over it.
Yeah,
but we'll see.
Oh, we have some questions from the producer. Hold on.
Producer speaking in our ear.
We've got a voice in our ear. Go ahead, Mr. Producer. That's a great question. The chat would also probably love to know that. So the question was, a lot of theories may be make or break depending on what happens at the end of season 2. So will we be holding another stream like this in the future? Well, that's a great question. We haven't necessarily discussed having a stream like this.
Yes.
Our plan was to, now that we've gotten the break times done and now the cut content done, is at the end of an episode, if there is cut content, we would cover that cut content at the very end.
Which maybe we should give a quick heads up here. We actually forgot last time to do the cut content. But we won't forget this time.
We forgot the break times last time.
Or break time, not cut content. Yes. We mixing up my terminology here.
Because it's not in our normal schedule, we totally forgot to do the break times for 16 and 17. So we'll watch them on the next set. Along with the cut content for episode 19, because it'll be 18 and 19 that we watch. Yeah. So, lol, whoops, we forgot about that. Okay, that's our bad. So, as to the question specifically, we didn't plan on having any videos, because we're going to be covering this content at the end of each video. So we didn't plan on having a stream. If people want us to have a stream...
Yeah, I was just going to say, we could ask, and I'm not against waiting and then doing it all at the end.
Let's do this. We won't necessarily do a poll. I guess we could do a poll, but let's just say in chat, if you want us to have a stream about the cut content instead of reading it off, I don't know, because I feel like people were saying at each episode, like, we should have the cut content to help our theorizing, right?
Yes.
So let's ask this then. We're going to cover the content at the end of each episode that it's relevant to. However, would you like a bonus stream at the end of season 2 where you can ask us questions? Or is the video and the cut content that we'll cover after each episode and at the end all right? So you could say in the chat, if you say video, then like, okay, we're good with just a video. Or if you want us to do a stream, tell us stream, and then we can figure out the schedule for putting out a stream. That would be great to know. We would love to know if people want. I don't necessarily see the reason why we would do a stream, but if people have things that they feel like they would want to discuss with us, then okay, like we can oblige. Yeah. So both. Video. Video, in my opinion, video.
Stream,
both. Bonus stream will be cool. Video. Okay, leaning
maybe we
a
should do
bit,
a poll so we can like get exactly
so we can
right.
Track it better. Let's see. How do we do a poll? There it is. Engage with your audience. Start a poll. All right.
So we could do video, stream, or both.
Stream.
And then
video. Yeah. So that's video only. We're going to do both. Like, we don't need to say both necessarily, because if we do a stream, we're always going to be doing the video, right? We're always going to be doing the cut content at the end of the episodes.
Sure. Okay. All right.
So
fine enough.
So we'll say video only or add a stream. And then
bonus stream. Okay.
What should we do at the end of season 2? And we'll do that. And there's your poll, question mark. All right. The poll is going, allegedly.
Okay.
I can't even see it if it is.
It is. And stream is winning so far. Oh, but it's going down. We'll see.
We'll see. We'll give it a second. So while that's running, I thought we'd take the opportunity for anyone who watches ReZero or not, just general questions. You can ask us about ReZero, but if anyone has any general questions, do an at the Anime Club, so we know it's specifically a question. We won't necessarily... We'll have the moderators look at these as well, just to make sure no one's putting in spoilers, but we'll look at... if you guys have any questions, do at the Game Club, or the Anime Club, the Anime Club, and ask us a question. You can ask about the channel, the show, our plans, whatever you want. We'll do like a small Q&A, I guess, to end us off here, and then
sure,
we'll close it out.
Okay, perfect.
Sure. So we'll wait for that and the poll to go. I'm going to refresh my...
It could be about any other series we've watched or are watching too, as well.
True. Or if we're going to watch something, you know, maybe
True,
any personal questions that you have, as long as it's not too personal. Do you have any wild predictions for the next few seasons?
Ooh. Wild? I don't know if I have a wild prediction, but we are slowly starting to see Subaru become more and more competent and just more used to everything that's coming his way. Now, I'm not saying that the hurdles he's going to have to overcome become any easier, and in fact, they might become more challenging, but I am ready... I'm getting ready to see a more competent Subaru, because right now he's been in a very much like fish out of water sort of scenario, and he's slowly getting his footing. But I would love to see a Subaru now that's like, instead of freaking playing catch up, which is understandable why he is in that state right now. Anybody would be. I'm ready to see Subaru who's already got his footing and is now ready to meet those challenges like head on, right?
Makes sense.
That'd be nice to see. Yeah.
I think with the advent of unseen, invisible providence, I think we're going to see, my wild prediction is, I think that the show will focus less on Subaru dying and more about Subaru as a more generic, but not generic, but like leaning towards the shonen protagonist, where he's gaining powers and he's getting stronger. And like the death factor will be a thing, but the show has, at least in some ways, encouraged Subaru not to rely on that too much. And I wonder if that's a meta narrative from the author to be like, listen, this is a thing that's important to the show, but you can't like run the show off of this one thing forever, right? So you got to have some things. And a great way to make a show interesting is to add some power systems into it for the main character. So I feel like the show could focus a little bit more on that than it has currently the death stuff. That's my biggest kind of wild prediction, I would say.
That would make sense. As he becomes more competent, he relies on it less. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
Let's see. If at the Anime Club, if you do a bonus stream, maybe cover the if stories, they don't have spoilers. Potentially, it depends how long they are. If we're able to do some research on that stuff before then, we'll definitely consider it if we've got the time for it, for sure. Let's see. At the Anime Club.
Yeah, ReZero versus Steins Gate in terms of enjoyment.
Ooh. That's a great question.
I think that is a great question. So I'm going to say ReZero for myself, and for a couple of reasons. A, when we watched season 1 in Steins Gate, I'm kind of interested how much I would enjoy it more now that I'm more like, not that I was closed-minded then to anime, but just more like in the zone, I guess. Yeah, acclimated, all that stuff. Maybe I'd enjoy it a lot more. Not to say I disliked it, far from it. But more that I could enjoyed it more. And also ReZero is more recent and also has like been more extreme in some of its higher highs and lower lows. So I think for now, ReZero for me.
But they're both really good.
They're both good. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
I would
say,
what about
you?
For season 2 of Steins Gate, I would say is lower. But season 1, I really, really loved. And I would say it's not like, I couldn't put one above the other. There are things that are that are like kind of classic to me. The other thing is like I watched Steins Gate when I was in like high school. So for me, it's like a classic. So it's hard to like remove that in my heart.
Nostalgia.
Right. Like there's a nostalgia factor there. So I would say they're about equal, like season 1 of Steins Gate. I like season 2, but it wasn't quite as good as season 1. Some of the like reveals in season 2 were freaking awesome, especially at the end. But like overall, the season 2 was okay. But
and
season
the fact
1,
they will maintain continuity.
Oh,
like even though it was like written after the fact and everything, that was pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's incredible. Yeah, but season 1 is a special place in my heart, and I would put it at the same kind of level as ReZero, because I really like ReZero as well so far. But I will say, ReZero has so many more cute anime girls. And I actually really like ReZero's art style a lot. Favorite. Of all the anime shows I've ever watched. Yeah, it's definitely one of my favorites for sure. Yeah. So yeah, it's just the way they draw the cute girls, man. I just can't be helped.
Sure. Okay. Very nice.
That's a good question. Have you considered playing games on stream? For example, Doki Doki Literature Club, and it would be a great stream game. Yeah, so we actually have a game channel where we have done streaming in the past. And your question's probably more similar to like light novels and stuff like that. So not necessarily, but we have entertained the idea of like checking out light novels or manga or even like games that are more text based, and whether or not we would focus on like having that or like platforming that on the anime club or on the game club. Not 100% sure. The problem is like we had very intermittent success with the game club. So like when we streamed one of our more popular games, Relink, Grand Blue Fantasy Relink, we had lots of people watching. But when we streamed other stuff that wasn't that, we almost had no one watching, right? So it's tricky. It's really tricky to decide exactly what we would do to that. What's your take on
that? Yeah. I'm not against it. I think for now probably won't be our focus, and I think for now we're just like kind of focusing on growing and all that stuff. Right. But once we're bigger and there's like,
if we were full time, we would stream all the time.
We'd do anything. Yeah, sure. Yeah, we'd do like, a lot more.
We'd be doing all the things that you can imagine, right? Because that would be our job, and we do it full time. But like neither of us can go full time right now. Like we really appreciate all the incredible support we've been getting, and we're like on the road to full time. But like we're a long ways away from that, unfortunately.
Yes, right? We're on the path, but the destination's many miles ahead of us. Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe one day. As for Doki Doki Literature Club specifically, probably not. I do not like horror things. And
it's a horror thing. I didn't even know that.
It's a horror thing. Yes. So probably not that specifically, but we would cover some other stuff if we did. So to be fair. For season 3, will you do double episodes or have one at a time? We will do double episodes and the cut content and the break times.
Yes.
Season 3 is going to be freaking packed. It's going to be wild.
Those are going to be so long, the videos.
Oh my gosh.
Enjoy. Dude. Look forward to it.
Enjoy that, hopefully. 3-hour freaking episodes incoming, I bet. Oh my gosh. Is Code Geass... Oh, we got...
Nope.
Who is your favorite witch? Asked Jefferson. Thank you, our producers.
Favorite witch.
Favorite witch.
Oh,
hold on. Who do you think is George's and I's favorite witch?
Oh, that's a good
question. While we think about it, I want to ask the chat. I'm really curious to see. Who do you think, just in one comment, say George is this one and Graham is this one or whatever? I'm really freaking curious, actually, to see what people are thinking. The yapping session is going to be amazing. George is Echidna. Okay. Echidna easily. Well, hold on. Who? Echidna for... You got to say if it's George or if it's me. George Echidna. Okay.
Everyone's saying Echidna for me. What?
George is Minerva. Graham is Carmilla. George is definitely Echidna. Graham is Carmilla. Graham is Minerva. George is Echidna. George is Minerva.
Wow, okay.
George is Minerva or Echidna. Graham Echidna. Oh, it's all over the place. Graham is Typhon or Minerva. Oh, interesting. Interesting.
Okay.
All right, George, what's the answer?
People are probably going to be disappointed, but just by the nature of the witches initially being introduced as a sin, my freaking barriers went up, and I'm like, dude, these guys are sus. These witches are sus.
Oh,
witches
no.
be crazy, as Graham says. And so I haven't really thought. I'm like trying to think right now, like which
You don't
one
have an answer?
I don't know if I do, dude. Like honestly, I couldn't say. Like I like him. I guess I'm trying to think. Who do I like as a character? Then let me think about it that way. Do you have an answer while I think
I have
about
an answer.
this?
Yeah, it's pretty
Who
obvious.
is it?
A lot of people in the comments got it. My favorite witch is Carmilla because she's the cutest.
Oh my gosh.
She's adorable. Holy frick. I love characters like that. She's so cute. Yeah, well, no doubt she's my favorite. She's got that power that freaking kills you when you get close. Yeah, I'd be dead in a second, bro. I'd be like freaking
Bro.
so dead. Oh, man. That's hilarious. George doesn't have an answer. George is a Sekhmet? 100%. I'm going to say George is Sekhmet or it's Echidna. Because those are the two freaking...
Sekhmet is
well
who again?
endowed. Sekhmet is Sloth.
Okay. And then Minerva is
Lust.
Wrath. Or Wrath. Yeah, sorry. Lust is yeah. I'm trying to think here as a character. Because, yeah, I mean, I take the well-endowed ones. Okay, sure. But I'm trying to think, like, what do they offer as, like, characters? Well, that, or it's mostly that, or, like, little, like, well, no, they're not all little girls, but a lot of them are. Like, Gluttony, that's a little girl. You can't
There's a good
convince me
range.
otherwise.
There's, okay, so let's see. Sekhmet and Echidna, they're the freaking large characters, like tall, we'll say. And then we have... the medium-sized characters are Minerva, Emilia, or Satella, and Lust, right?
Okay.
They're like medium-sized. And then the small ones are Gluttony and Pride. Right? So there's only two small ones.
I guess there's two, yeah.
The other ones are like more, medium-aged.
I'm trying to think of, like, who I can say I enjoy as a character.
Man, you're really agonizing over this.
Echidna. Probably Echidna.
Echidna. Okay.
She's done more for the story than any other witch.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right.
I guess I'll go with Echidna.
Good question. You really got George Gears spinning on that one. Jeez,
Yeah. I was like, do I like them? No, I don't think I like any of the witches. Do I like them as a character? Yeah, they all play their part. And then who do I like most? Probably Echidna.
Based
I knew
Graham.
it. I was spot on.
Based Graham. Carmilla. Everyone's saying I'm based. Thanks.
Okay.
Thanks, guys. All right. Very good.
Let's go.
Let's
Scroll
see.
back up here. There's a
I'm
lot
gonna
that's
scroll
gone
back
here.
up a little bit. Code Geass as a potential future reaction at the game club or at the anime club. Yeah, for sure. I haven't seen Code Geass actually, so this would make an excellent reaction. George, I don't think knows anything about Code Geass whatsoever. I know very little bit because it's a classic, but yeah, for sure. That'll definitely show up sometime. When? This year? Probably not. Next year? I don't know, but it'll come at some point.
It all depends what happens when people suggest stuff in the polls and what people pick as to how soon we watch some things. But then we also have our own things that we've like scheduled and stuff.
Yep.
So there's that too.
For sure.
But
who is more interesting as a protagonist, Subaru or Rudius? Maybe add an Okabe just for spice.
the answer is Thorfinn. No, but between all of these guys.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, come on. You're not even like mentioning the other series we're currently watching, guys. Come on.
Dude, Vinland Saga. Oh.
Not enough people are watching Vinland Saga, guys. It's absolutely not because our numbers are low on it. That's not the reason. Not that we want people to watch it, but because the show is freaking incredible. If you're not watching Vinland Saga, you're doing yourself a disservice. It's genuinely amazing. George.
Yeah, not even just the reactions, like the actual show.
Sure. I'm going to start a firestorm right now. George, what do you like more? Vinland Saga or ReZero?
You are starting a firestorm because, guys, don't get me wrong. This isn't me saying I dislike ReZero. Quite the opposite. I love the show. But Vinland Saga, I just got to go with Vinland Saga. It is so good. I mean this genuinely. If people took the themes that season 2 is trying to portray to heart, like legitimately took it to heart, the world would be a better place.
Wow.
And I think season 2 is only possible because the delivery method for those themes is a monster. It's Thorfinn. So I'll leave it at that. I don't want to spoil for anyone who hasn't seen Vinland Saga. It's like too good to spoil.
There you go, folks. Weebs and normies.
Yeah,
there it is.
not really comparable shows. That's right. Yeah, it's not really comparable. They're totally different.
Yes.
Honestly, I've held Attack on Titan as my number 1 show for all this time because it's just so good, and some of the themes on it are good as well. But like, I don't know, man. We'll have to see, because I still have the entirety of Attack on Titan in my mind, and it's only season 2 of Vinland Saga, and future seasons could totally butcher it. But the trajectory for me, Attack on Titan was up and to the right. Like, the show just got better and better and better. If Vinland Saga continues the same trajectory, I'm trying to explain this in a very weird way, but the angle of that trajectory for Vinland Saga is steeper right now. And so if it continues in that trajectory, it'll surpass Attack on Titan.
Right.
And it will become my new favorite anime.
So right now, Attack on Titan's at like 10,000 points of love, but at the same point in season 2 of Attack on Titan, it was at 100, and Vinland Saga is at 300.
Yes.
Kind of thing.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Okay. Perfect way of putting it. So
if it keeps going,
we'll see when all is said and done. Yeah, where it ends up. But yeah, freaking
interesting.
Vinland Saga is so good.
But that totally dodged the question of the better protagonists.
Oh yeah, sorry.
I would say I like Subaru more than
say that.
Than Rudy.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
I think Rudy has more. I think they've placed Rudy further back on the personal growth scale because of this kind of story that they're telling. So I think it makes more sense that you would, at this point in time where we're at, dislike Rudy a little bit more than you would someone like Subaru.
So the question isn't who you like, who is more interesting as a protagonist.
More interesting?
Because I think I like Subaru more.
Yeah.
I like Subaru way more than Rudy. Rudy's got a lot of growth to do as a human being,
but more interesting.
Yeah, it's very tough. It's very tough.
Yeah,
because I like what I find interesting about Rudy is overcoming his own limitations. What I find interesting about Subaru is the unrelenting will to keep going. And those are two things that I find both very, very interesting. Which one more? I'm going to say Subaru right now, but I know for a fact I am biased because we're currently in the middle of ReZero. If we start, when we start after Vinland Saga Season 2, when we start
Jobless Season 2,
Jobless again, my answer might change. Because I know for a fact I'm being but now.
Sure. I think we'll see. The way I look at it is like this. I think that the things that are happening to Subaru are very interesting and potentially more interesting than the things that are happening to Rudius. However, now that I'm thinking about that, there's a lot of really interesting things happening to Rudius in the story. So that may be a toss-up. However, from an intrigue perspective, Subaru is a kind of a very straightforward character, and he's not that interesting as a character to me. Now, the things that are happening to him, very interesting. Him as a character, not so interesting. Now, when it comes to Rudius, is he more interesting of a character? Yeah, I would say so. I would say he's a little bit more interesting as a character than someone like Subaru. They're both interesting characters, although I do think Subaru is a little more straightforward.
Stories.
Yeah.
But
if we had to add in the wild card Okabe, obviously Okabe is the king. Okay?
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
The scientist, Okabe, of course. I love Okabe, but again,
he's great, but
nostalgia.
Not in the running for me.
I've thought about Okabe as a character for like almost 20 years, right? So it's just like I have grown up with Okabe in my mind, right? He's like a classic character to me, right? So you can't top Okabe. Yeah, no way. Good question.
Yeah, great question.
Best villain, Betelgeuse or Roswaal? Oh boy. We're gonna have to see. Roswaal's arc isn't finished yet, and we don't know the origins of Betelgeuse, so I'm gonna reserve my judgment on that one. I got nothing to say.
Yeah, we did skip a question, so we'll go back up to that one here after this one. But Betelgeuse or Roswaal? This is my current impression of Roswaal, and now this could change. But Roswaal to me seems like a guy who is not even necessarily pretending to do good, but soothes himself of the evil he's done by saying, but it's for the greater good. Now, he doesn't ever state it's for the greater good. He says it's for like my prime wish or my prime desire. So I could be wrong in this impression. But it seems to me that he soothes himself by willing to become a monster because he's like, but at the end of the day, this one prime good will be accomplished.
We don't even know if it's a prime good because it's his prime dream. That's
what I'm saying. His prime dream. That's what I'm saying. It's my impression of it, and I could be wrong with that. But
I see.
And Betelgeuse, he's evil and he almost knows it, and he's like he's like evil and proud. I find the evil, conniving, and doesn't want to admit it to themselves.
Self-delusional.
The self-delusional evil, a little bit more. How do I put it? Like a little bit more sad and evil, because it's like the potential was there. Like someone who's like straight up crazy and evil, it's like, whatever, there was never a chance, right?
Right.
Yeah, like what could you do? That guy was going to be evil. But like the one who's like, no, I saw the light and the darkness and I deliberately chose the darkness. It's like a fall from grace, so to speak. And so I'm going to have to say Roswaal.
Okay.
And for this, like
I
better villain, because they're more villainous, more evil, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's more depth to Roswaal right now with what's going on. I think he's a more interesting character. Like there's clearly like more going on, and he's done these like crazy things that we didn't expect. I think right now Betelgeuse seems very straightforward and not as like filled with depth as Roswaal is. That being said, if you would have asked me this a week ago, I would have said that and ended it there. But since we watched 17, I'm very interested to hear about what is going on in the backstory of Geuse, right? Like we've just been introduced to Geuse, and there's something that's going to go on. So again, it's hard for me to say 100%.
When he started crying,
right?
I was like I was bracing myself. Where he's like,
for him to go crazy or something.
Yeah, he's
that
gonna
man freaking
start twisting his body and freaking spasm out.
I didn't say this in the episode because I didn't think of it, but when I was editing, and I thought to myself, that man is freaking oohing himself into insanity over freaking Lolly Amelia. But he didn't. He held his consciousness somehow. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know exactly what exactly is going to happen with that. I want to see how those things kind of phase out with the two of them before I can make a final decision. But it seems like there's more to Geuse than meets the eye.
Yeah. So maybe I'll change this as well once we see what 18 and 19 have in store. There was a question: is there a possibility of collab with other anime content creators, or specifically ReZero YouTubers? I don't want to speak for Graham. For myself, I don't write anything off 100%, but currently there's no desire or plan on my part. I don't know about you.
Oh, that's not the answer I was expecting you to give.
Oh, really? Okay.
My answer would be like, hell yeah, that sounds sick. Let's do that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that sounds great.
It just depends on what kind of thing we're collabing with, I suppose.
Right, right. It depends on a lot of things, right? It depends on like who the content creator is. We're not overly picky, but like we just like to make sure we know who we're dealing with. What kind of content we would even do, right? Like what does that look like exactly? Like is it a discussion or is it a informational video or what? Like what kind of a live stream? Like I have no idea what that would even be, right? I don't know what that would look like. We used to have a podcast on the Game Club channel. So if we could easily do something like...
We yapped a lot there too.
Yeah, we yapped a lot there too about video games. So we could like have someone on, like if they have a podcast or we start the Anime Club podcast.
You know what? Something like that. Yeah. Okay.
That would be pretty good, right?
That's not what I was thinking. I was thinking like reaction collab. I'm like, bro, I have zero intention of doing a reaction collab. I don't even know how that would look, to be honest.
Exactly, yeah.
But okay, like showing up on a podcast kind of thing or something. Yeah. Okay.
That'd be cool. Yeah. We'd be totally open to do stuff like that. We're like small creators and we barely know any other creators. And every time we've actually had a creator reach out to us on the Game Club about doing collab stuff in the past. And we were just like blown away that anyone talked to us. And we're just like, what? People know who we are. Like, that's crazy, right? So we're just still growing and getting bigger, but we're totally open to stuff like that. And it would be fun to engage. It would be really fun to engage with content creators in a specific anime niche as we go through a series, right? It's like, oh, we went through ReZero. Let's engage with the people who really know it and pick their brains. Or we engaged with Vinland Saga. Well, there's these Vinland Saga YouTubers, if they exist, then, you know, let's talk with them and stuff. That would be pretty cool, actually.
Something like that I can see. Okay. Yeah, so... my mind immediately went to like,
we're
gonna react with someone. No way, dude, that sounds so like clunky. I don't even know how that would work.
A decent word for it. It would be a little clunky. Yeah.
But
the operation over here is tricky enough as it is. So
yeah. Night to you all. Thank you, Anime AMV Star, for hopping on, dude. We had a lot of people here. I'm surprised. Thank you, everybody, for showing up.
We had a lot of people. Well, guys, let's end our poll here. And it's gone. What? Did it say the results?
There it is.
Oh, there it is. We had 69
stream
people for adding the stream. So
and 30 for video only. All right. People have spoken.
We're going to have a stream. Yeah.
Okay.
Can we give an extra thanks in the chat for our producers / moderators, TLK and Asa, also known as Mokana on the Discord. Really appreciate you guys taking the time. We spent way more than we thought doing the live stream and stuff. So
thank you.
Really appreciate the protecting us from potential spoilers. We really appreciate you guys for showing up and 100%. Not just showing up, but like engaging in the chat and being respectful in your comments. I know some of you were really excited to say certain things, and other you guys were like, "Oh, don't say that, don't say that." Everyone looks like they were acting in good fun, so we really appreciate that.
And we walked out of this spoiler free. Like maybe there was some, and our moderators got it, or
we missed it, or
we just missed it, or there just wasn't there. But we're walking out of this spoiler free, which is perfect. That's exactly how I wanted to go. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you so much. And just for all the support on the channel, this has been super fun. Like genuinely so fun doing reactions. It's funny because like a long time ago, someone mentioned that we should do anime reactions, and we were like, anime reactions? Like, I don't know. And it turns out it's been super fun and awesome. So everyone's been super nice, and I don't know. What can you say? It's been a great journey. We're looking forward to another year of great anime. We would love to get more and more anime to you. We likely won't ever access 5 videos a week. Well, that's like a soft cap for us. But you know, hopefully as we get more and more support, as people share more, we get more Patreon members. Not that anyone should feel obligated to give us money. We do appreciate every bit. But as we get more and more support, hopefully we'll be able to transition more and more to fuller time, and we'll get more anime content going your way. If you're interested in checking out our game content, we also have that slowly trickling through. We might even do a Night Rain there
when we can.
Right, we might do a Night Rain stream. When Night Rain, Elden Ring Night Rain comes out at the end of the month. So look forward to that. Yeah.
Okay.
George, anything else?
That's it for me. Just I want to echo what you said. Huge thank you to you guys. Like we probably, because we did do anime before the channel, and if without the channel, we'd probably still keep going. But just yeah, like the support has been incredibly humbling and keeps us going. Keeps us going.
Yep,
so,
for sure.
All right,
everybody.
Thanks so much, guys. More shows coming, so hit that subscribe button. If you aren't, I don't know why you'd be on the stream if you aren't, but don't forget to if you just wandered in here. And welcome if you did.
Yes.
All right. Take care, guys. See you
See
later.
everybody.